All right. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. One, two, three. All right. Happy Friday. Happy Aloha Friday to everyone out there. We have a few people here in the chat. Appreciate you guys for joining in. As usual, with anything live, there's always technical difficulties. So Jay is trying to get another laptop or computer so we can connect in here. And I think he's there. So let me see. Is that working for you? Sounds like it.
You should hear me good. You should be good now.
There you go.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
I can hear you.
All right, good
Sounds
deal.
good.
Man,
Cool, cool.
I switched to my MacBook for some reason. I don't know what's up with my Mac Mini or whatever. I have no idea. I'm gonna reboot it or whatever.
Oh, see the Apple garbage, I tell you. You need to go back to
Oh,
PC, man.
yeah, I know, man. Because PCs are so
No.
secure, and you know,
I'm on a Mac, so it clearly works.
I know, right?
But it's
Yeah,
all
I,
it's
I,
the it's the it's the
I
joys of
can't
going
regularly
live.
use a PC anymore. I have to use a Mac regularly. I just can't do PC regularly.
Everything works till you want to go live. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
That's how it always works. But that's
That's it.
okay because it's
They,
Friday.
computers know what we're getting ready to talk about. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's cool. It's Friday,
Yeah.
just a nice Friday afternoon. Not working right now.
Is it
Gonna have some
Friday?
fun.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I guess for the lucky retired folks, it's
Yeah. I don't
time.
keep
Time is
I
on a
don't keep
different
track.
scale.
Yeah, man, 'cause, I don't keep track of any days, except for Saturday, and that's the only day that I keep track of really, because I have a lot of things to do on Saturdays, and typically on Sundays, it's car shows early in the morning, so, um, church on Saturday, car shows on Sunday. During the week, man, I don't keep up with anything. I don't even know.
Where do you find the time?
I know, right? Yeah, I tell people don't be in a hurry to try to retire, man. You're gonna end up wanting to be more active. You're gonna want to occupy your mind. That's the toughest part is occupying your mind,
Well,
knowing
with
that you gotta keep active mentally. It can be tough.
that in between like the 100 videos you dropped this week, I don't know where you find all the time for
I
all
know,
this.
right? I know. I know.
But you got it down, you got the retired life down.
Man, I'm
You
still working
slotted
on that.
everything out.
I'm trying to make sure I stay active, eat healthy, exercise, and then shoot YouTube videos. I go to a lot of car shows though, man. I do a lot of car. I go to a lot of car shows, ton of them,
For
more
sure,
than you can
man. I'm
possibly.
not I'm not getting any younger, so I've definitely embraced the whole live clean thing, man. Like
Mhm.
change my diet,
Absolutely.
change my, working out more. Got to take care of the body as you get older.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
totally get it,
It'll
man.
break down on you. It'll break down on you.
Oh yeah, we could do a whole show on that. So that could be
Right.
a
We need
whole
to.
other whole other topic. But yeah.
I don't have any tricks or secrets or anything like that. I don't smoke or drink or anything. When I say that to people, people think like I've never like done anything bad. Like it's so weird. Like I'm talking to people, they be like, "What?" Like, man, you got to know how old I am. Like you're 30 or something like that, and I did that stuff much earlier on. I have no desire to go out and get a hangover.
More
Yeah, no.
people need to hit middle age and, they'll kind of slowly realize and understand some things.
Well, middle age is 35,
Well, that's
so
what I'm saying. Well,
yeah,
I'm a little older than that.
you're
So,
you're you're way over, sir. Yeah,
yeah,
you
thanks
don't
for
look
that,
it.
by
You
the
look
way.
like you're about 30 years old, but
Thanks by the way.
you're way over middle age because studies show middle age is about 35 to 38 for men, um, and yeah, we're both extremely past,
No.
way past
I've
that.
definitely got my own wake-up call, but yeah, we'll talk on another stream. We're here to talk tech on this Thursday afternoon. A
Right?
lot of stuff to go over, but, we'll see where it all goes. Got a
Oh
bunch
man.
of stuff that happened this week,
Oh yeah.
um, and we'll get there, but, in the chat, we've got, I think 12 people it says in the chat right now, so
JoJo's
whoever's
in the
tuning in on this Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you are, thanks for joining. Appreciate you
oh
guys
yeah,
being here. I see Jimmy Fire Dragon in the chat. Barry is here listening. I know he's off working and running around.
yeah.
Jojo the Techie's here.
Engineer life.
Another very busy person writing all those articles. I have no idea where she finds the time for all
I
that.
know, right?
And a provider of content for this channel because we'll go through some of that a little bit later. So appreciate that, Jojo. Gary Brown, Bad News Gary. What's up, Gary? Thanks for joining in. All right, and Bradley's here. What's up, Island Boy?
Island boy, rude boy, wagwan.
He's He's on a permanent vacation, I think, over there. So
Oh yeah, no. I'll be
every
around your way,
time,
man.
every time he's posting pictures, man, it's like
I gotta holler at
looks
him when I
perfect.
get up there. I'm supposed to be up there. I can't say when I'm going. I don't like to disclose when I'm leaving, but the trip's already paid for. So I'm gonna be close to you, Barry. So we definitely you need Bradley. You need to when I hit you up, man. You need to be like, hey, I'm coming. I think I'm gonna be kind of close to you. So yeah,
Got to be
and
careful this time. You got to at least tell people that you're taking a little bit of break. So
I know, man.
your phone doesn't go crazy this time.
Man,
People don't hear
I
from you for a few days, and people get worried, man, because you're
video doesn't
dropping
come
like
out.
5 videos a day. So when you go to zero,
I know, right? Oh man, yeah.
all
I
right.
can't.
Well, you're the guest, so I'll let you steer where you want to go first. But we got a bunch of stuff from Google,
We do.
Samsung, sort of, Apple News,
We
whatever.
do.
I know you dropped a bunch of videos too. I saw your last video talking
Yes.
about why Google doesn't want to make a flip phone.
That is where I want to start. I want to
Awesome.
start right
I
there
figured as
because
much.
yeah, because I think at this point, I don't think there's a reason why they haven't. Because honestly, after buying the original Fold, I lit that phone up. I mean, it's a good phone, but for me, it's always going to be video. If the video, they've already mastered the art of photos. We know they know how to do photos, but video, they have to bring it, and they keep talking about they're bringing it, and they're just not. So when the Fold dropped, the original Fold dropped, I lit it up. I was easy on it at first, but I was like, I got to be honest here. I'm shooting. I don't like the video on this phone. It's garbage in comparison to other phones that came out at that time. And that price tag, we all hit that. You hit the price tag up. I hit the price tag up. It was a tough one. Even with the trade in, I think I still paid $1,000. So that was a tough pill to swallow. But folding phones, when Google jumps straight to the bigger one, I personally believe they're missing out on this arena right here. They can have some market share of the regular style flip. I personally think they need to because this fold is getting ready to drop, and I don't think it's going to be a big hit. I think people are going to see the price tag and say, "Oh, you gave me a different color. Okay, great. What's so different about it?" I don't think they can do what Samsung does when it comes to that because every year everybody likes the new Samsung phone that comes out, the next version of it. Pretty much overall, it's well received. You have those people out there that they're just going to complain about everything. You can never please them, but in the end, I think people always accept what Samsung is doing, and they move to the next version of it. But Google struggled. They struggled with this last one. I did not like the 9 Pro Fold. I did not like it. Nowhere near. No, it
Mainly
was.
because of video, right? You're saying
Yeah,
you weren't
the
impressed with the
video
camera
sucked,
quality,
but not just the video. It's a
even with the video
heavy.
boost.
Yeah, the video. There you go. Video booth was not good, and then also it is a heavy brick in your pocket. It is a
Well,
brick.
like we went over last week, went over all the leaks, everything about that they've been publishing about the new Fold, and from all accounts, it looks to be pretty close to the 9 Pro Fold, right? So it looks very similar. Reports are that it's still going to be pretty heavy. Google's going in the opposite direction, right? Everyone's going thin. Google seems to be holding steady and fast, and they're going to keep their stuff, where
Yeah,
it is. And it's pretty much similar dimensions, but a large, supposedly, rumor, larger battery in the new Fold, the 10 Pro Fold, supposedly over 5,000 milliamps because
yeah.
they're going to keep it a little bit thicker. So are you okay with a heavier, thicker design if it means a larger capacity battery?
I'm not okay with the heavier, thicker design just because the battery's bigger. Because you have phones like all these thin foldables I got was 6,000. Where are they at? You've seen them. They're around here somewhere. I got all these foldable phones with these big batteries in them, and they're thin. They're not that heavy. So Google needs to do something. These phones are not. Yeah, they need to do something. Like you said, they're going in the opposite direction of everyone else. I don't think that's a good direction, especially now that where's my other fold at? It's back here behind the computer. Now that show them the Fold 7. You got the Fold 7 is a work of art, man. Like people can hate on the Fold 7 all they want to and say, "Oh, it's the same phone. They should do this. They should do that." But the Fold 7, everyone I know who picked up the Fold 7 said, "Man, I shouldn't have picked this phone up. Now I want it." That's night and day. There's a there's a perfect representation right there. That's what you're going to get from Google in comparison to what Samsung is offering. And like you just said, they're going in the opposite direction. I don't think they're going in the right direction as far as what the tech world is getting ready to go in, because we all know the S26 lineup what it's going to be. So I don't know. It's a good phone. It's not a great phone. Um, I think they have a lot of work to do. They can release a different color if they want to, but I'm just not. I'm not really feeling it.
I don't know.
It's
When you
gonna.
look at it this way, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's thicker, heavier. It's not as bricky as the OG Fold.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is actually the thinnest foldable in the US when it was
Yep.
launched.
Yeah.
Although it is still a bit heavy,
And
but
then
it's
the One Plus.
still thinner than the OnePlus Open.
Yeah. The One Plus
Was thinner
feels
than
better.
Fold
I like the
6.
One Plus better. The One Plus is a much better phone than the 9 Pro Fold. It feels better to me. Like you have a skin on yours. The One Plus Open just naturally feels good. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Yeah, I got this skin, so it's basically feels the same.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I got it. It's because I didn't want a
yep,
case, and this makes it
yep,
feel kind of the same. And I don't have a problem using it without a case because of
yep.
that. So
My One Plus Open only saw a case when I was doing case reviews. Other than that, I just take it right off because the One Plus Open is
I mean, it's
amazing.
technically thinner, but it's kind of about the same. I mean,
Yeah,
it's negligible, like if you're just
yeah.
using it. But
The One Plus Open is just one of the best foldables released, and I think Google is. I just think they have some ground to pick up. You know, like Bradley said, silicon carbon batteries will be nice, but you still have to fit. You have to be quiet, Google. So we're just listening.
I'm gonna set
The
off all my stuff now.
I know, right? I don't know why mine went off. What did I say the word? Just as G word? Oh, I did say the G word. But yeah, man, I think
Your other video, you're setting off all my stuff.
oh yeah, remember
Kept saying it.
I kept saying it. And I think in that video I said, I hope all your devices are going off. Man, I think they have some ground to pick up. I think they have some ground to pick up, and I think they're already fighting an uphill battle to me with Samsung. And I really hate it for Google when Samsung steps into when Apple steps into the arena of foldable phones, because people just don't seem to care about price sometimes when it comes to certain OEMs. If the trade-in is good, Samsung wins every time. And if Apple brings out a folding phone, it's going to be lights out for Google probably. It probably will. And you know what? They can unfortunately bring a same size, similar size phone, but they'll market it so well, people won't even care.
So let's go through this in order. So since they brought up the whole silicon carbide batteries, right? I know we talked about this last week a little bit, right? Why didn't Samsung do it in the Fold 7? Do we think they're going to do it in the future? Similarly, I think there's a question: do you think Google's going to do it? If not, since they're not doing it in the 10 series, are they going to come out with an 11? So I think we covered some of that. Last week, the thought was, I think, for companies like Samsung and Google and anyone in the US, large companies like that, they don't really have any kind of motivation to start using the latest tech like that. Guarantee they're looking into it. They're definitely testing all that stuff. They all are. And I think we kind of concluded similarly, but I think there's both sides of the story, and they can both be true. Which is big companies like that aren't going to just jump into a new technology necessarily. A, they don't have to. B, it's because it's costly, and you know, so if it's going to hit their margins and they're not really sure how proven the technology is, and there's no competition with a lot of other people releasing that here, that where the demand is high, they're not going to do it.
Yep.
Will they do it in the future? Probably. I mean, that's just the evolution of the technology. When? Who knows? And then the other part of that argument that people have been bringing up is, battery degradation, right? So supposedly the batteries, because of the way the technology works, they're spread across, uh, multiple pieces of hardware essentially
Yeah.
in the device, right? And they're smaller, they might degrade faster. But is that a
Doesn't this
problem?
have it? Doesn't this have silicon battery technology?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's how all these other OEMs internationally are bringing out 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. I think was some of the
Yeah,
latest.
this has a 6,000, right? Yeah, 6,000. I don't think this battery is going to be degrading anytime soon. I don't think so. The OnePlus 13 is an amazing phone. I just don't see this battery degrading
Yeah. Same
extremely
like
fast.
this one, 6,000, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But they keep they're not thin, but they're about the same thickness as most
Right,
modern phones.
right.
So yeah, I mean, so I think we land in the same place. There's reason why they didn't do it. Should they have done it? Sure, right? Like for the money that they're charging people, we'd all would want that, obviously, right? Um, And the whole battery degradation thing, I get it, but I also kind of side on the side of the street where most people who are buying this stuff, right, are people like us,
Yep.
and we probably don't keep our stuff that long.
Nah.
And so if it degraded in say 3 years, I probably wouldn't have it in 3 years. Most people probably wouldn't have it in 3 years. Just trade it in for the next one. Not
Yeah.
that not that it's an excuse, but that's kind of just the reality a little bit.
If we do have it, it probably wouldn't degrade that quickly because you have a lot of phones that are very old, and I do too, but the battery fires right up, and while it may not last for 2 days, it can still last at least a day on some of these older phones I have that I fire up, and some of them could still go depending on what phone it is, but if because I don't plan on ever getting rid of my OnePlus 13 at all, and I'm gonna see how this battery is holding up. It still does a nice full charge with ease, holds a charge to 100 with ease. It's just a good phone. So that battery is silicon technology, but I don't think the battery degradation conversation is for. I think that's for us, like you were saying. We're the ones who are going to pay attention to that. Regular consumers, they don't even care, and I can't wait until we get more phones with that technology and then see how it's affecting those regular consumers that are actually experiencing it and they're keeping it for 5 years.
Yeah, and this is actually a good point, right? That Jimmy Fire Dragon brings up right around the charging speeds, right? So it's not just capacity; it's the charging speeds that we get here in the U.S., right? It's significantly slower than what
Yeah.
you're getting internationally, right? The best we got generally hovers around 45 watts, right?
Yep.
While obviously overseas, like people like OnePlus are, giving you 100 watts and bare minimum 60, right? And it makes a huge difference, right? Because you can charge a phone, even a large capacity phone, pretty much in like 20 minutes,
Yep.
versus waiting like an hour and a half right now
Yeah.
for even the fastest charging phones that we have here in the US. So, yeah, I mean, if you use your phone heavily, right, you're always on it. Maybe you're relying on it for your work, right? So you are using it all the time. That battery is not going to last as long, and you're going to want to have it charged as fast as possible. I get
Yep.
that, especially if you're on the go. I mean, if you're in office, you can just reach for a charger, charge it up, no problem. But if you're on the go, I get that, right? From a very mobile person, this is a perfect use case for these types of devices, right? They're all in one device when you're on the go. That's perfect. But yeah, if they eat through your battery and they don't charge very fast, I can see how that can be a problem.
Agreed.
And then I think the other piece was, right, I think just to get back to your original discussion around like why doesn't why is only Samsung and Motorola bringing out a flip version of a foldable,
Yeah.
right? Google started out with a full fold. Right, Apple looks like they're going to be starting in that direction based on rumor, right? So
Yep.
why wouldn't they bring out a flip phone when that seems to be the more consumer friendly version,
Yep.
especially since they can be a lot lower cost through carriers or other deals. The flip phones always tend to go for a lot less, right? So that's
Yeah.
also probably a good reason why people are picking those up over the larger folds too.
They sell
So
better too.
why wouldn't the others? Why wouldn't Apple and Google follow Samsung's lead on that?
Right. Yeah, and the flip phones always outsell the folding phone. Like the bigger version is always outsold by the flip version, and Samsung doesn't even promote it. They don't even really promote the flip like they do the fold. And why that is, I don't know. Could it be just money and marketing, and they want to make as much money as possible, obviously. But the flip to me is the logical transition. I've said this for since day one. It's the logical transition for people who own a slab phone. Like this is the logical. It literally your phone is just folding in half. And I think even Samsung is doing it wrong at that point. Yes, Google. We don't know why Google hasn't done it yet, but I think even Samsung is doing it wrong when it comes to the marketing of the Flip Seven. They always start with a fold, and they push it, push it, push it because they want probably to get the most money out of consumers. But I would rather do volume. I would rather sell 10,000 Flip Sevens than 200 folds. It's just but I think it's probably coming down to money, marketing. They have to get this money back that they're putting into the product. And the Flip Seven to me, I've been daily driving it, and since I got it, and it's just been phenomenal. The battery's gotten much better. It's good. It's a logical choice to me for most people. I think it's just salespeople and marketing how it's being presented to people, whether or not they should do it or not.
Yeah,
And
and the fold's the sexier device, right? It gets more headlines, it looks cooler,
yeah,
right? So that's partially why they probably want to advertise that as well, right?
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I actually just started, so I've been using my fold, obviously, right, since it came out. So I actually
right.
put my main SIM into the flip this week. So I've been
There
using
it is.
my flip this week because I wanted to give it a turn and see how it what it's like and how it's performing, battery life, all that stuff. Because I know you were getting mixed results on your battery, right? I think that was
Yeah,
the one weak point that you felt was on this
yeah,
device. But so far, the battery's actually been okay for me. It's
yeah.
actually outperformed what I thought it would. I was actually able to get over 24 hours on a single charge,
Yep,
just over
that's where I'm at
24
too.
hours, and I was at about maybe 4 hours of screen on time with that. So
Yeah,
that was actually based off of kind of what you're saying. I thought I'd get less than that because I think on my Fold I'm getting about the same. My Fold lasts me barely over 24 hours, if that, and then I'll get about the same, like 3 to 4 hours of screen on time with
yeah,
that period of off the charger. So kind of very similar battery life, to be honest, so far. So
yeah.
we'll see.
We've
But
always, if you guys don't know, me and Grant, we've always talked about our battery life. I mean, over the years, and he's always the way his battery life is. He can gauge it off of if I come first with mine, and his is always the same. His is accurate. He'll say, "Well, I know I'm going to get on mine." We were talking about that maybe a year or two back. Also, I forget what phone it was, and you were like, "You got 5.5 hours. I'll probably get 3 to 4," and it was spot on. Um, I do a lot of phone calls with my phones, and so it's just true. My screen is off and the phone is face down somewhere else, and I got on Bluetooth, and it's still working pretty good. Like with the Flip 7, like you said, I started off with very poor battery. Like I was getting like 14 to 16 hours total. Then all of a sudden, nothing different. I use it the same, and now I'm like 20 to 27 hours total standby time. I'll just give it 24. We won't stretch to 27, but
yeah, it's about the same
oh,
that I've had this week.
yeah. So it took some time for some reason, but it's a really good phone, and I really hope when we say things like why isn't Google doing it? Some people get so offended by that and taken back. But I think you should want to push these OEMs to give you more. Like, why are you settling? And if you just can't think big, um, if you just can't think outside of a certain parameter, you're not going to go very far. Your mind, you have to start it. You can't be afraid to think something, and you should never talk yourself out of getting something or think you can't have it. So, even down to tech, what's up, Big Sean? I see Sean P in the house. Um, when it comes to this tech stuff, man, I think people just limit their thinking. Like I would have rather had instead of a trifold, I would rather have the rolling phone that LG and Samsung brought like what 5 years ago. I'd rather have that, man. That's like 5 years
Yeah,
old. I'd rather have
yeah.
that.
Look at Sean. Sean picked up the OG Pixel Fold because it's a great deal. It's under 600
That's
bucks,
correct.
brand new right now,
That's
and
correct.
that's
Smart
still
man.
still. I actually picked it up because I was like, you know what? I bet you that display isn't going to be as great as I thought it was back then. Now that you've
Yeah.
had the latest devices, and I fired it up, I was like, yeah, this actually looks still pretty good. It's
Yep.
a lot brighter than I remember. The quality of the display is still fairly good. I thought it would just be, showing its age, and it does to a certain extent, just because
Yeah.
it's thicker borders and it's a little bit heavier because it's stainless
Yeah.
steel. But the display quality was actually still surprisingly pretty good, and for less than 600 bucks, brand new, I would have zero complaints about that one.
Sean. 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 Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, I push Google all the time about why they're not doing something. It's just a natural thing for me. I want them to do a flip phone. I want to see like a full on Pixel experience in a flip phone, and we
The
already
closest
know
thing
it's
you're gonna
gonna
get
be.
right now is Moto. Moto
Yeah,
Flip is as
no,
closest to because it's pretty stockish on, and it very
it
feels
is.
like Pixel, but they don't have all the Pixel features, not the
Yeah,
similar camera experience. But that's kind of
and
like what you as close you're gonna get to a Pixel Flip, so to speak.
and as far as Motorola, the flips go, they don't. People have been asking me, "Are you going to put it against the Z?" It doesn't stack up. The Moto Razors don't, and people just going to flip out behind it. But I found that the Motos are a little bit more sluggish, and it could be just their implementation of whatever. It could be the process, it could be the combination. It just doesn't feel as speedy as the One UI. One UI 8 is a beast. I mean, and you're using it, you've been using it, so you know there's a lot of people that are just now getting One UI 8 because of the new devices, but there's a lot of people that are not on One UI 8. And I got a video coming up talking about those people who are just not, they're just staying with their current generation
Do
as
you
they
feel a
should.
big difference? Do you feel a big difference between 7 and 8?
I don't feel a big
Android 15
difference.
and 16?
Not so much, not really. It's not that it's so much better and I feel this bigger difference or whatever. It's just really fast. Like, and then 7 is fast too, but it just feels fast. I can't put it into words. Could be the placebo effect, could be, but I just haven't had a hiccup at all, and I'm looking for something. I want it to go. I want to be able to have some. Okay, with the now then I got to report this, but it's just not happening. And I never really had that with 7 either. But with 7 at the beginning, I did have some. I felt some type of way about it at first, but they've given so many security patches and updates and everything. It's fine. So but One UI 8 and Android 16 together, it could be Android 16. It could be Android 16. It could be just as Android 16. Yeah, it could be what it is because it's flying. And on Motorola, it's okay. It's not. I don't know. I've just the Razor looks way better. The hardware is somewhat better. Um, but the Z Flip, I just think it could be One UI 8 for me. I'm a stock Android person, but I think One UI 8 and One UI 7, just the One UI is getting better and better and better. Touch Wiz, it's
I
getting
feel I,
better.
I feel the One UI 8 more on the watch. Like on the watch, it looks and feels a lot
Oh
visually
yeah,
more different, right? Like the watch
yeah,
faces are kind of the same, but like visually, like these widgets and stuff. I
yeah,
don't know how I feel about it. Like honestly, when I didn't really like it, but it's kind of growing on
yeah.
me. But visually, the watch OS, I could see more of a difference than the phone. But
And
what's
they
weird
sent that
is,
out to us. You should have gotten
yeah,
that on your watch too. Yeah,
yeah, it's on it, it's running it, and
yeah,
on the folds, yeah, the fold and flip performance great.
yeah.
On my S25 Ultra, that thing is every time I go back to that, it feels smoother than the flips and the folds, and that was not my complaint, but that's the thing that I noticed on my Fold 6. So I was using the S25 Ultra a lot. I went back to the Fold 6 to get ready for the Fold 7. And
Mhm.
while the Fold 6 was nice, fast, fluid, it wasn't as smooth. And I don't know, it didn't feel the same as S25 Ultra. And now that I'm using the new 7 Fold and Flip, they're
Yeah.
not quite as smooth as the S25. It could be in my head, but that's just kind of using them back to back. That's just kind of what I feel. But
My
it,
problem
that's
is
that's not to say they're slow at all. It just feels
no.
different.
What's your biggest problem with the S25 Ultra right now? What's your biggest problem with it?
Oh,
I'll tell
just
you.
the size of it at this point. It's just
There,
it's
there
just a
you go.
brick right now.
Yeah, because the
And the
Edge.
funny thing is, spec wise, right? Like thickness and weight, it's technically thinner and lighter than the S24 Ultra. But
Right.
I keep saying it. It's because the S24 Ultra has those curved sides, slightly curved sides, that when you put them
Yep.
next to each other and you hold them in your hand,
Yep.
the 25 Ultra just feels thicker, even though technically it's not. And it's even
Yep.
supposed to be lighter, but it doesn't feel that way. I guess because mentally
Yep.
you think it's just a brick, so it feels heavier.
Yep. You're absolutely right. I it just feels like a tank, man. It's obviously much heavier than the Fold 7, obviously much heavier than this Edge. And that's the direction we're going in, folks. Like the 26. Okay, so I know you guys saw it. Can we transition there? The
When
26
you go
Ultra?
26,
The
sure,
26
yeah. I think
Ultra.
we're wrapping that whole flip discussion up.
Have you seen the 26 Ultra?
I don't think so.
It just officially hit the internet, and I believe it to be true. It looks like an Edge.
See,
It looks like an Edge. It's in mint, and
let's
it's
see.
not. It's supposedly has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Supposedly, it looks beautiful, and it's going to be thinner. It's going to be in the direction of the Edge, which is what I'm hoping for because you know the Ultra is going to sell like hotcakes. All these people who feel like the Edge is trash, oh, the Edge, I don't know why it exists. I even asked, why does this exist? But after I got it, I thought, I know why it exists because they're showing you what they're getting ready to do with the next lineup in January. It's January, right? It comes out in January. I think it's January. They're showing you what they're getting ready to
Let's
do.
see.
And I gotta find that article. I had pulled the article up earlier, but I thought I saw it on your list already, so I didn't even bother.
All the S26 stuff, I just saw like, the renaming of their product line, all
I
that
got I
stuff.
found
I don't know
it.
if I saw an
Let me
image.
let me see if I can find it over here because I pulled it up, but I thought you already had the same article. Let me go over here on my Mac up here and see if I can find it. It's there's a
Yeah.
mint. Let me see. It's mint and it had the full specs. How these people would post it online already, it's a little frustrating. But let me see if I can find it and I'll share it with you. Oh gosh, where did I see this at? Rumors are going to be true on this. It is going to be a beast. It's going to look like the
Let's
Edge, man. It's going to look like the Galaxy S25 Edge, but it's just going to be so much nicer. And here it is right here. I found it. I'll send it to you. Let me see here. Let's see. This isn't the one that shows the specs all listed, but it's got a picture of it. And it could be photoshopped. Who knows? But it is a beautiful rendition of basically the S25 Edge in mint, but it's softer, more supple on the corners. Let me see if I can find it better. Here, I'll copy this one. I've never been on this website before, so let me see. I don't know if I can trust them, but
I see something from Tom's Guide, but
go to this website is
or you can put it in the private chat.
okay. Yeah, let me see if I can do that. Here, I'm on a different computer, so let me go here. I'll put it in look in your Twitter real quick. This isn't the exact one that I found, but I think I screenshotted it too. I think I took a screenshot of it. Let me see, because there's one where it's literally just listed. All the specs are listed. Let me see if I got a screenshot of this thing. What phone did I have in my head? Was it the phone I was using? Where is it at? It has all the specs listed, and then it's not like that website. It literally has the specs. It has the entire lineup, just the whole layout of the S26 Ultra, and it is beautiful. It's going to be thin. It's going to be thin, like the. Why did this? Let's see. It says failed. There we go. I
Here's
just
what I
sent it to you.
got. Okay.
Check your Twitter. Check your Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, check your Twitter, because that's not the one I sent. This is one where it's going to be flat out all the specs listed. 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Let me see if I can find it here again.
Got it.
That's the color. That device right there is starting to float around the internet when you see it. That mint S26 Ultra is beautiful. And if you notice, compared to the S25 Ultra, this one's thinner, softer on the corners, not as boxy. That device right there has been floating around the internet for the last 72 hours.
Let me clear that. All right, let's see. S26 Ultra. Still 200 meg ISO HP2 plus. Okay. Let's see.
I just sent you something else. You can check your Telegram for this one. Check this out. This one is giving you a much better. Come on, send it to him.
All right.
There you go. Check your Telegram. I got you. This one is laid out better in your Telegram. I don't know if you can pull it up, or it's a picture.
Yeah, I can.
It's a much better. It shows the Ultra. It's bigger. It shows the specs, everything. Perfect. If this is the Ultra, it's nothing more than a better version of the Galaxy S25 Edge, and it's going to be nice. I would gladly take that Ultra right there. Gladly.
Yeah, so 6.9-inch display. Okay. The latest processor.
6,000 milliamp hour battery. I don't know about now supposedly this is legit. I don't know about the 80-watt charging, maybe 50-watt charging, but I don't know about 80-watt charging. But they might be on to something here.
50-watt
I don't know
charging.
about 80-watt charging though, or the 50-watt.
80-watt, 50-watt wireless.
Yeah, I don't know about the 50-watt or the 80-watt, but if it's silicon battery technology, then yes, okay, I believe
it's going to have to if it's going to be thin. Yeah.
Yeah, because that you notice on the corners how it's a little bit more softer. There's another version of this picture where you can get a different angle, and it is thinner than the current Ultra. It's a little bit more. It just reminds me more of the Edge.
Yeah.
If anything, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, because the current 25, right? If you look at it compared to that picture.
Yeah.
See, they rounded this off. Remember when this was released and you thought they were going to be rounder corners? And then it got here and it's still kind of pointy. I mean, it's rounder, but it's still kind of sharp.
Yep. It is
and
sharp.
Of course, super thick. But yeah, it'll have like the Edge kind of module.
It will.
But yeah, you can see a little bit more softer, a little bit more rounded than this. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, 6.9 inch display. They're gonna be the latest processor, obviously vapor chamber cooled.
Yeah,
Still 200 megapixel camera, but larger sensor, 1/1.2 inches, so that's a little
yep,
bit larger. That's nice, but would be good if the periscopes were larger sensors too. But they're generally pretty good. They're good. They're good on the S25. Larger
yep.
battery, which I'm sure people will be happy about. And yeah, I mean, for Samsung to go from 45 to 80 watt charging,
That's a stretch.
that's a leap. But
I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. But that looks like a Galaxy S25 Edge with more cameras. It's a softer feel to it. It's not as sharp and edgy. It's going to be hot, especially if it's thinner. Now, I'm kind of talking about what's coming up in my next video, but I might as well just leak it here. The SIM tray will be moved to the top of the. I can't. There's no way to talk about it without telling you. The SIM tray. Hey, can you bring your Edge, bring your Ultra back up the way you had it, showing your other camera? Bring your Ultra back up. And you see the bottom of your phone is the SIM tray. They move the SIM tray to the top of the phone like they do the Edge, or like they did on the Fold 7. They
fold,
move the SIM tray to the
yeah.
top. If they move that SIM tray to the top, then you can get a thinner frame, and then you can also have an S Pen still on the bottom. Yeah, because they had to move the Fold 7 SIM tray to the top. But if they do the Ultra like that, if they move the Ultra SIM tray to the top, you still get an S Pen in the device. Because I don't know
But
how
is
they
the
would
S Pen
have.
gonna have to be smaller S Pen, thinner,
It's going to be a thinner S Pen
flatter
because
S
this
Pen?
current flatter, yeah, because this current S Pen is more round, bubbly shape. All they have to do is flat. You know the S Pen case for the Fold 5, how
Then
thin it
people are gonna
was.
complain about that the S Pen got too brittle.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. But it's totally possible. You can still have S Pen technology in a thin S Pen because it's just a battery and a little bit of chip in there. The chip is only at a part of the S Pen, so I think if they do
But
it,
is that too extreme for people to go to a super thin device like that? But I guess if they still give you the larger capacity battery, then
I'm all
people should
for
be
it.
cool with that.
I think people will accept it just because, and then
Because that's
because
actually a
everybody,
pretty big leap for Samsung all in one go.
it is.
I mean, to go dramatically thinner, much larger capacity battery, much faster charging,
Yeah.
even improved camera sensors, all,
Yeah.
that's a lot for
I don't
Samsung in
believe
one
the
go.
battery. I don't believe the charging speeds, the 80-watt charger. I don't believe that to be true. But I think they're
Even if it's
going.
slightly faster, say they go to
Yeah,
60,
that's yeah, yeah.
and make it
Right
real
now,
60, not like the
45 is
sort
the top
of
right now.
45.
45, right?
Sort of 45. I mean,
Yeah,
theoretically, it can go up to 45, but for like a very brief spurt. So it's
yeah.
not always charging at 45.
I don't even
That
mind
that
because
was that was the complaint. It was like, yeah, technically it's capable, but it doesn't.
I just put my Samsung phones on the charger and walk away. I don't
You
even
have
bother
to, because when you
to.
plug it in, it's when it's almost depleted, it's going to tell you it's an hour and a half to charge.
Yeah,
It says it on the device. It's going to take you an hour and a half.
yeah.
So
It'll tell you this is how long it's going
hour
to take you
20
to.
or whatever it is.
Yeah,
And that's on my fastest charger that I've got it connected to on my
yeah. I
best
got a
USB-C
120.
cable.
I charged with a
So
120, and it's still from 90 to 100. It said 20 minutes. I was like, man, that's a slow charging speed from 90 to 100. It's a burst of speed. Like if the battery's really low, oh, it shoots up to 75 real fast or 65 real fast. But after that, it's a wrap. You're waiting at least another 45 minutes to an hour. Easy, easy.
and then I think Big House was saying rumored that if they go that thin, it's going to be eSIM only.
Now that I can believe. That I don't disagree with. I think that's what they would try. I think that would be a reason for them to take away some of our control. And if that happens, I won't have an S25 or S26 Ultra ever on my main SIM card. I gotta have a SIM card. I move around. I'm trying to review phones, and I got to be able to move around easily. So,
See,
and
and
that's
people are
something
bracing for Google to pull the same thing.
that's all I was just going to
Well,
say.
will Google pull the same thing on the 10? I don't know.
I don't think they'll do that. I think it's too soon for Google to do it that quickly. They'll actually lose. They're already not winning right now, technically. Hey, now what's going on? Scoop is here. I think that if Google pulls that SIM tray only, remove the SIM tray, they're going to get hit very hard, and it's going to be pretty much only people getting their phones will be Google Fi people, because that's a tough transition to
Well, see,
go.
that's a good segue because Google has been going hard on their latest marketing.
Yeah,
And
they're not.
so, to your point, with how hard they're going after Apple, they really better bring it on the 10. And
Yes,
based off of all the rumors that we saw,
I'm not impressed.
not that impressed. So,
I'm not
but again,
impressed.
right? Like we mentioned before, like what Google put out on their own Fold, right? Because Google likes to leak everything,
Yeah,
and so they
yeah,
put out their teaser on the Fold and saying it looked different. That render to me of the camera module looked
it did.
different than the leaks,
Thinner.
and they're saying it's going to be thinner, lighter, all that stuff. So we'll see. I mean,
I mean, like you
how
said,
how close to the leaks is going to be. I would believe the leaks just because of how things are nowadays. But
yeah,
it's still conflicts a little bit with Google saying, and Google's going really hard on, you know, with their marketing really close to the launch now.
yeah.
So,
Like you
coming out
said,
with a
though.
couple of trailers that troll Apple right around. If you've been waiting around for features for a few years, why don't you just get a new phone? So,
Absolutely.
going after Apple Intelligence, right?
Yes,
And
it's
you're
hilarious.
tired of the same old phone for 3 to 5, year after year after year. Maybe you should just get a new phone. Even
Yeah,
though Google is coming out with the same phone, I get it. It's not the same phone
yeah.
for 5 years, but
You said
anyway,
it
they're
best,
going
though.
kind of
You
hard
said we don't have it
in
yet.
these quick bites. But if it's closer to the leaks, then they might fall flat on
They gonna
all this
fall on
bold
your face.
talk.
Yeah, they're done
So they
for.
better bring out something because it's no doubt. Even they showed the phone. It's going to be like
Yeah,
hardware wise, it's going to look pretty much the same.
I I mean, like you said, we don't have it yet in our hands, and typically when you get in your hands, you can really you can gauge a real measurement of it. But other than that, I don't see Google stealing any market share from anyone unless they have a just one more thing, unless they have something up their sleeves. It is not going to work because
Because outside from the hardware, is this going to satisfy the people who would buy a Pixel, right? So outside of the
exactly
hardware change, the big rumors are obviously the new Tensor G5
right,
TSMC, right? So it should be more efficient, should be faster, better battery life, all those
right,
things with the chipset. Then they're saying it's going to have MagSafe magnet in it and um, quote unquote improved cameras, but based
yeah,
off the specs, not so much.
not going to happen.
Um, so those are kind of the key highlights that people are saying. That of course, they're going to have new AI features and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, but that'll probably make its way down the lineups to the 9 and even they probably maybe the 8. So the software stuff may not be as big of a differentiator. Um, and actually, since I have this stuff up, why don't we just kind of get into the Google
okay,
stuff?
yeah. The loyalists are
Because
going to buy.
all this
I'm a
stuff keeps
stickler
coming
for
out,
Samsung.
like even though a bunch of leaks already came out, more has been trickling out this
Yep,
week closer to launch, right? So
yeah,
here's them trolling Apple, right?
funny,
Saying again,
hilarious.
like we said, if you're waiting for a feature, Apple Intelligence, then you should just get something that already has it. And then here's all the latest images, right, of the phone, right? So side shots, so you can see more of a side profile, but based on the previous renders, it all is looking very similar,
That's the
if
silver
not the
color, right?
same.
That's like a
That's
lavender or
that
silver color.
their moonstone kind of grayish,
Yeah. Okay,
like
there it is. Okay.
Irish. I think it's gonna depend on the light and the
Yeah,
angle,
the
but
camera that
it's their
yeah,
supposed to be their moonstone color that they already have, but maybe a slightly different shade of it.
yeah.
Um, but
I
everyone's
like
saying
the
the
blue.
angles. You can see the angles now,
Yeah,
right? Um,
I like the blue. I like that moon shade or whatever it's called or moonstone. I like that, and I like the blue. That blue that I sent you
yep.
in your inbox or
And
on the
here's JoJo's article, right? Shout out to
absolutely.
JoJo,
JoJo getting it in.
right? So she's getting in on the leaks on the 10 Pro
Mhm.
XL and even the Fold, which we'll get to. Um, so I like this because she put out all the images really big and
Oh yeah,
nice. So like
yeah.
all the colors, right? So that's the obsidian, which I don't think you're that big of a fan of anymore.
No,
This is a nicer look at the moonstone.
yeah.
I like
That
this.
moonstone, that's
This is gonna be
beautiful.
like the this is gonna be like the oh man, I'm blanking out. What was the color last year? I got it in my phone. Oh. But
Not
anyway,
the.
this is gonna be this year's color.
I I
This will
think
be
that
this
color is
year's
gonna.
color, not obsidian.
They're gonna. I bet they don't offer that color like a 1 terabyte. They're gonna say 1 terabyte for Obsidian, which is stupid to me. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they would do
See?
it.
There's JoJo. All right. Um yeah, and here's the 10 Pro X. Well, we did the 10 Pro XL.
Yeah.
Um there's more of the leaked images. So yeah, I mean the standard 10 is gonna come in the brighter colors like they always do. So blue, it's the year of blue, and then they're gonna come out with that lemon stuff. So this is all pretty
That's the
much what we
color I
already
like.
saw, just
I like
different
that color.
angles,
Yeah.
right?
I like
Fancy
that blue.
marketing stuff.
That moonstone, that might be the one to get this year.
The Moonstone is gonna be the one to get in the Pro, and this blue is gonna be the one to
And
get
that
in the
blue.
standard 10.
Yep.
And
That's
I've
beautiful.
seen articles talking about the standard 10 and how it's gonna be improvements because they're giving you the telephoto lens. They're getting 3 cameras just like you're getting the Pro models. But man, if it's the same specs that we showed last week, where it's pretty much the Pixel 9a main camera and ultra wide, and they're throwing in some cheap telephoto lens just to say they have one, then
Yeah.
yeah, it's a triple camera system that's not very good. Um, and
Yeah.
no, it's nowhere near it's nowhere near what the Pro models are going to be. So if you were serious about cameras and you want the triple camera system, there's a lot of misleading articles saying that you should just get this because it's a triple camera system. It's just going to be just like the Pro, and that's nowhere near the truth. So
That isn't the
sorry, but
truth. That's way
I like
off.
cameras are a big deal for me, and I can't
Yeah,
believe people are even saying anything remotely
video
like that
camera.
based off of the rumors that they're putting on their own sites. But anyway, um,
The
yeah.
video
See,
camera.
and here, yeah. So we said AI features, but they're coming out with potentially camera AI features. Um, I actually went over to Google and Mountain View to test some of this out. So since it's coming out, I'm not breaking an NDA. I'm just talking about
Oh
this
yeah.
article. So, but I did get hands on with some of this stuff. Um, and so it looks like they might be bringing it out based off of what they're saying here. This camera coach basically using AI to help you kind of frame and compose a shot real time. So from what I
Is there
saw, it
AI
was pretty cool.
processing in
It
there?
was pretty
Is there a
cool. I don't
lot
know if everyday people are going to use it.
is there a lot of AI processing in there though?
From what I saw, yes. What they actually bring out, we'll see, right? So just like
Do
how this
we
article is
really
saying,
do we really want
camera
all the AI
coach
in the
is
camera photos though?
AI feature, right, to help you compose a shot. And so from what I saw with what they were trying to experiment with, there was some pretty wild AI stuff that I'm pretty sure they'll temper down in what they finally release. But um,
Do we really
the,
want why can't we just have a good camera? Why do we have to have AI?
well, it was always AI. It was just called computational photography before, but now everything's branded AI. So there's always going to
No, but I
be
mean
image processing on
I think
sensors
it's
this small.
more. I think they're doing more than they used to.
Oh, of course, it's going
It's
to
always
keep
been processing,
increasing
but
year after year for sure.
yeah,
But
they're
does it make
doing
it better?
yeah.
Like I thought what they were doing with their computational stuff and what was a precursor to the AI stuff was really good. Google was the first to do that, and since they lost the original team, all the stuff they're doing with AI now seems a little, I hate gimmick, but a little gimmicky, right? It's not really lending to the processing of it.
Right.
Obviously they did video boosts and stuff, but they got to learn how to
Horrible.
do that stuff on device as much as possible. I actually like the
Horrible.
video boost. The results come out nicely,
Takes
but
forever.
you have to wait for it, and then it's
2
all
hours.
I don't think people like that their videos have to go up into the cloud, get
Yep.
processed, and come back down. Not
There's
just
a
from a
nice
wait time
video.
perspective, but from a privacy perspective. I don't think people like that. But of course, if you're
Yep.
concerned about privacy, you wouldn't get a Pixel or any phone for that matter. But
But before I knew up to a lot about it, I did like this long 30-minute video on this topic and yo, I was furious. It was saying it was gonna take like a full day or something. I was like, what the heck? It's like a
and
30
here's a
minute
10 Pro
forcing
Fold,
video.
right? So this looks pretty much the same, but of course a nicer color. Maybe the hinge looks a little slimmer, but you can still see it.
Yeah. That's hurting. You think their hinge is hurting them? I think so.
On the original one, it definitely does. I mean, it's just undeniably huge, right? The device itself was slim when it came out, and it still kind of is slim. But when you look at it head on, you're going to see that huge hinge.
Horrible.
Um,
Freaking horrible.
and so it looks tempered down. It doesn't look as in your
That's
face, I think,
pronounced.
as the 9
Yeah.
Pro. But you can still see it, right? And I mean, even the open has a little bit of it.
Yeah, it
It
does.
it kind of looked like an open when you looked at it, because if you see it, the open still has. You can still see the hinge. It's just not
Oh
as
yeah.
pronounced. So this actually gets closer to the open if you look at it right now, right? If you look at that image
Yeah.
versus what I'm showing on screen, it's actually a lot closer to what the open is right now. So
Yeah.
so maybe they
That
just
thing
caught up with what OnePlus has already done. So,
the OG
but
Fold and the 9 Pro Fold, they have the biggest hinges ever. It just looks weird. It's squared off on that side and then rounded on the other side. It just feels weird in the hand.
and
Super
here's some of the
heavy.
marketing video, right? So there you saw the hinge and how
Yeah.
thick that is.
Yeah.
So I mean, this looks too good to be like fake at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, it looks nice. I'm not gonna say, and I think a lot of people will be satisfied if they're giving them a larger capacity battery in this thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be over 5,000.
There's the watch.
It's
Yep.
supposed to be over 5,000.
Yep. It's supposed to be like 50-15, whatever it is, just so they can
Yeah,
say it's over 5,000. But still,
yeah,
that's significantly larger than what you're getting on the competition.
right,
So
right.
yeah, and right here, the
I'm
battery
still,
article,
I'm just
right?
not as
Like,
pumped as I want to be. I love the color. I like it, man, but I'm just not as pumped up as I should be for some reason. When the first Fold came out from Google, I was ecstatic, man. I jumped in and ordered just like everybody else. I was the first one in line to order, and then I loved it. I used it. I loved it. I used it. Then I came to this realization that the cameras just were not as good. As much as I wanted to praise them, they're just not as good as some of the other phones that were out at the time for foldables. And then now, after I use the 9 Pro Fold, see if I can eliminate my love for cameras, then the 9 Pro Fold will be a hit. It doesn't matter like it's bigger, chunky boy. It doesn't matter about. But I do a lot of video, and it's disgusting that they have limitations on their video cameras, like for portrait video and things like that. There's a lot of limitations if you like video cameras compared to other cameras. The Pro mode is it's just different. They're just limited. The Google's cameras for video are just limited when you start to compare it next to even Apple has now giving you the ability to do more with their cameras.
well, I know people get tired because people always mention cameras, 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 but it is one of the big differentiators between camera, battery life. Um, Other than software, those are going to be the biggest differentiators that you're going to have between each phone and each brand. That's how they're trying to differentiate their phone right now. It's going to be
Yep,
camera, battery. You can only do so much with performance at this point. Displays are all pretty good, right? So, and then it's going to just become the hardware itself, what it looks like, cameras, battery
yeah,
life, and software. That's it.
yeah. What else can we go on?
That's
I
why AI is
mean,
such a big thing because that's the next software differentiator. I mean, but camera is a
well,
big deal. Like, I mean, people use their camera on a daily basis, whether or not they're like photographers. They still want good looking photos, you know. So
I hate when people say, "Well, I don't even turn on the cameras." Okay, well then you don't even need a smartphone then because right now we're in a social media age and everybody has their cameras on, recording everything, looking for things to go viral, all these different things. You want to have the best camera possible.
I mean, even everyday people, like my parents or anyone else, like they use their phone cameras, right? They take picture of their
Oh, God,
grandkids. They take picture of when you go out.
absolutely.
You maybe take a family dinner. You know, you go on vacation. They use their phone to take pictures of the vacation on their cruises. So, I
Yeah,
mean, even they use their phones to take pictures of things that they want to remember for a while, right?
absolutely.
And keep as memorable moments. And so you're
I
gonna want
take
the best
phones.
cameras. And in fact, when you're not a photographer, you're gonna want the best possible camera because you want that point and shoot. You want it to look good. You don't know maybe how to compose it or how to make it look the best. So you want the phone to make it look as good as it possibly can. So,
Right. And
you know, I think
we
there's
print
definitely
photos.
more of an argument for non-photographers.
We print photos. We print photos. There's phones that if you put it in 200 megapixel or 50 megapixel, whatever, I've printed those. We'll do like these collages and stuff from like when we go on trips. And believe it or not, a lot of the stuff is from our phones. I just tell her, make sure you put it in the highest. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'll do it for you. I'll put it up to the 50
Because that's
or
the
whatever.
camera that you have. Everyone
That's
does
the
it,
one I have with me because we don't
you
carry
know?
our mirrorless cameras anymore or like the point and shoots. We don't care and we don't need to. We're really, we should be at a, when you think about it, we should be at a point where smartphones are almost as good as mirrorless and DSLRs for taking photos. At least we know they can't compete a lot with video because glass is where it's at. You can there's no phones out there that can really compete with real glass. And we know this. They can put the biggest sensors they want. Sony already tried it. It's just not going to work. It would be a big chunk hanging off of the back of the phone, of the smartphone. You'd have to do snap-ons like Motorola did back in the day, or Samsung did back in the day. But we print some of the photos, a lot of them. We print them and make collages out of them, buy frames and decorate the house with them. And Google's picture game is on point, man. But I just have a problem with video. We shoot a lot of video, and I'll burn it to DVD. We send. It's just a bunch of things you can do with your phone now. I've done some where I loaded it I'll put it on the server and I'll tell everybody, hey, here's the address from the trip. You know what I'm saying? So here, look at what we put together. And I just think that Google is such a great company when it comes to just I love their hardware, I love their cameras, I just don't love their video. And you know, I'm just
So the chat
they got
thinks Google's going to surprise us, Jay. So,
huh?
people are still holding out hope that Google's going to surprise us.
I hope so. I want the
So
best. It's not like these products are
I
cheap.
hope so too. I hope it's closer to what Google is saying versus what the leaks are saying. So
Yeah, because last year they was like, these are the best video cameras. Man, I was like, I don't think so. I don't think these are the best video cameras by a long shot. They bragged about that. We're giving you what you want. We're giving. Look how long it took Google to bring out a small Pro phone. I've been saying this for so many years, and I was shocked that they actually did it last year. But their small Pro phone was a hit. But it was a hit, but it was too close to the 9. Like you could just get a regular 9, and you're just missing a lens. And I like the
well,
hardware better.
that's what they're doing this year with the 10 is they're trying to make that gap larger, right? So
Yeah,
people think people think they're closing the gap because now you got a triple camera system on the base
nah,
10, but they're downgrading the whole camera
yeah,
system. So now there's actually a larger gap.
yeah. You went over that. We went over that
Because it
last
was
time.
close. It was close. The 9 and the 9 Pro, it was exactly the
Oh
same
yeah.
cameras, except it
Oh,
didn't give you the telephoto, but exact same sensors. So if you don't care about the telephoto, it was the exact same phone,
the cases and everything were all the
which made
same.
no sense, but it was great. Like, hey,
Yes.
that's why I knew a lot of people who just opted for the 9 because it's like
And,
they liked that it was small, it was cheaper, and it
yep.
gave you pretty much almost everything that the Pro gave you,
Yes.
and they didn't care about the telephoto. So like,
And you got
cool,
better colors. It sounds
yeah,
crazy, but you
yeah.
got better colors. You got better colors.
Well, I got the porcelain, so I don't know,
Yeah, I love the porcelain. Yeah, I got the green one.
but you had
The
the
one.
peony,
Yeah.
peony.
I
If you want
mean,
that pink, that
I
was pink. That was pink,
that
pink.
was a popular. I'm gonna release. I sent the photo in our group earlier, but I'm gonna release my wife's her her Flip 7 showed up out of nowhere. It was supposed to be in the end of August 30th, and it just came today. So she said, "You can open it up and
Most
take a look."
popular color ordered in that flip, by the way.
That was the most popular. Believe it or not, the coral red was the most popular. Second to the blue was second to coral red. That coral red is backdated and back ordered, and it's really back ordered for people who got the free memory upgrade. But you can now walk into Best Buy and get them. And when I went into Best Buy, he was like, "Oh, we're selling the crap out of these coral reds. Men and women are buying them." I'm
They
like,
said it
"Wow,
was like 25% of all pre-orders, and the blue
absolutely,
fold was 50% of all pre-orders. So
absolutely,
yeah,
it's totally true." The flips always outsell the folds, but that coral red took over. It took over,
except it's
man.
not red. It's coral.
It's
I'll give them it's
peach.
coral, but it's not red.
It's peach. It's
If
it's
it was the coral red that was in the S25, that was red. That was nice.
yes,
If they made it
yes,
that red, I would have been on board with
yeah,
that.
yeah. But it's more of a peach. But it is a popular color, right? Can we stay here for a second? Because I want to ask you this. I know we have already talked about this, but more along the chat, it's starting to get online that people are switching to the Flip 7 in particular from iPhones. How true do you think that is? I think I have people in my comment section saying, "I did it, I did it, I did it." I was like, "Wow, really?" Like these people are like, "I really left, um, I left my iPhone for the Flip 7." Yeah,
Are they?
I think they
You
are, man.
said
Like
they're leaving that in your comments.
in my comment section, it's like it was men in there too. Like, hey, they didn't say coral red, but they just said, "Hey, I left. I'm tired of Apple, man. I need
Well, I
something
already
new."
said like I said before. I already see like a bunch of flips in my area. Like I'll see people.
Yeah,
It's not even like occasionally. Like I see them enough to the point where it feels commonplace, at least here. But again, where I'm at,
you're,
this is like Silicon Valley, Northern California.
yeah.
So it's like we got a lot of people with a lot of money and a lot of nerds. So we're gonna
I
have
see a lot of
a lot of the
folds
more
here.
exotic phones. But
Almost every business owner I know has a fold. It's not a new fold. It's like
yeah,
it's
I
the
see a
same
lot of folds
personal
too.
fold.
Just
I see a
when we're
ton.
out in restaurants, see a ton of people with folds.
I was at a place yesterday picking up dinner, and this lady in front of me had a Z Flip 5, I think it was. I think it was a 5 or a 4. I was like, wow. I wanted to say something, but she was with her daughter, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything. Because I had my Flip 7. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I just admire her from a distance. I was standing right behind her, and she she flipped it open. She flipped it open, and I said, "Whoa, that's a Flip 5," because I could see by the outer display it was a Flip 6 or a Flip 5. But I didn't want to see like a geek or a nerd, like jump. Hey, ma'am. She'd have been like, "Excuse me, sir." It would have been awkward. So I just let it go. But I don't see very many flips. I see a lot of folds all the time. Folds like crazy out here.
Yeah, I
Bunch
see
of
it's kind of uneven, but not to be like whatever gender bias or anything, but I see a lot of women with flips. Whenever I see flips,
oh
they're
yeah, yeah,
mostly
absolutely,
women.
absolutely.
Um, but I can see like it's easier to pocket, right? You basically have the same size
Oh,
phone, and you can fold it in half. I mean,
oh yeah,
and if you're a certain age, there's a good amount of nostalgia with that. So,
yep, absolutely.
because I used to love my flip phones back in the day, man.
I loved them.
Like the Motorola flips and all that
I
stuff. I loved it.
loved them. Flip phones is where it's
Remember when they were
the
super tiny? They were like that big.
Samsung. They were taking over. Samsung
And even
ruled.
Motorola, they made them like super tiny. Like remember
Yeah.
Zoolander made fun of that,
Oh
like the
yes.
tiny phone.
Yeah.
But they were making phones not that tiny, but they were pretty small. Like you
Yeah.
could fit them in like, you're like a carpenter jeans, this little
Oh
side
yeah. A
pocket.
little
Like it was
small
so
pocket
super tiny because
to keep.
they were just phones, right? They weren't smartphones, so the only function was to be a phone. And so
We loved them.
you can make them super small because who cared? They didn't need to be big. There's just a
The
phone. But
T215, the T217, the
when things
T219,
had
all of
numbers, they're all number designations and not actual names.
yeah. I wish they would kind of go back to that though. I liked all the T335, the T315. I felt comfortable knowing I was actually getting something different. It actually looked different. Even those flip phones actually looked different year to year, except for when it hit the twos, I believe. There was a stretch of Samsung phones that they were getting like a bigger display or the keypad looked different. It was just something like that. But I'd rather go back to numbers like that, the technical number to it, instead of this. I don't know. I just don't like the way the numbering, the phones are right now. Because
See,
you
I
know,
probably offended JoJo, but I didn't mean to.
yeah,
But I'm just saying from what I see.
it's true
Um,
though.
I mean,
It's
I
true.
have a flip, so I carry
You
this
do.
around.
And
I'm just claiming observation.
I identify as
I'm
as
just
a,
saying observationally. That's it. But
it is
yeah,
true
I
though.
mean, outside of BlackBerry, because everyone knows you love BlackBerry.
Oh
But
my
outside
god.
of BlackBerry, like what were some of your favorite phones back in the day? Like let's say early 2000s before the iPhone, right? iPhone was 2007.
I think it was Sidekick. I had a side. I had every Sidekick. I couldn't live without a Sidekick. I transitioned like between BlackBerry and Sidekick. Um, Gosh, and I loved all of those old Nokia phones that I could take an antenna off back then and put a flashing antenna on it, put a flashing keyboard. I loved doing all that. I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, and so this is the benefit, right? Like, I mean, both of us are old enough that we grew up through the transition, right, of all the technology.
Oh yeah.
So before cell phones, before all that stuff, so we saw when they first were introduced and kind of
Yep.
how the industries kind of progressed, and we even owned these devices, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
that's why early 2000s, I totally remember, like, um, even before like iPhone and all that kind of stuff, like, I was always
I,
anti whatever was popular. So like, before BlackBerry, like, Palm was
Palm was very,
super
very popular.
huge, right? So
It
I
was.
was went against Palm. Like I was like, I didn't want the Trail. I didn't want any of the Palm devices. I wanted like the competitor stuff, just because. And even remember Compaq and stuff. Compaq was coming out
Oh
with
yeah.
stuff.
They were huge.
The iPack, and they had that stuff to
I
compete
had one.
with Palm, the Trails, and
Yeah. Those were capacitive. Not they weren't capacitive. They were resistive stylists. They were
yeah, of
resistive
course
stylists.
Motorola was big. But then you also had
Oh,
Sony Ericsson. That was
oh
always cool, and
I had all those
and then you had
phones.
the early Windows Phone stuff before it was Windows
They were
Phone,
good.
like the early Windows Mobile,
You remember
right? All
tapping?
that
You remember
stuff.
texting on that keyboard with that little pen, getting the little letters, texting? Oh my god, it was horrible. But we did it. We thought we were important. Everybody would
Well,
spend
that
45
was when
minutes.
you had to have two devices, right? You had to have your
Absolutely.
personal digital assistant, right, with the
Absolutely.
whole small little tablet thing, which was just a
Absolutely.
glorified. It was kind of the early beginnings of a smartphone without the phone.
I miss
So,
that time.
you had that, and then you had a phone, which is just a phone.
Absolutely. The flip phone. I miss that era. Like I miss because it's always so much simpler when you sometimes having too much is not good. Just because you have everything doesn't mean you have everything. And that's an actual song. But I just think the simpler times were so much more fun. Like you hear people talk about you hear people hear us talk about it probably when I was a kid and the but it was I had more fun. I didn't have all these distractions. And it's when it comes to tech, it was more fun. Like having that big giant Nokia on your hip and you only got 10 minutes of talk time, you had to charge it after 15 minutes. Text
Well, I remember
messaging.
the Nokia stuff. Like you could buy all the accessories, so you could change out the
Oh,
body. You can make like a
oh yeah.
transparent body, and you can put all
Oh
the
yeah.
lights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you would customize it, right? You'd have your
All day
custom
long.
Nokia.
I just don't. I think everything was just simpler.
But it was the
I
wild because it was the Wild West. Like people were just coming out with
yeah,
random stuff, so everything looked different, right? So they're just trying to figure out what was going to stick before iPhone kind of solidified the trend
it's
going forward. But
exaggerated.
before that, everyone's throwing stuff against the wall, right? So you had all kind of crazy stuff.
So we've got to we have to eliminate two OEMs. They're gone. You got Samsung, Apple, Google, and Motorola. Which two do you eliminate?
Why do we have to eliminate two? We need more.
No, no, no. This is where we're at. The Skynet is going down. Skynet is about to plummet, and we only can keep two OEMs. We can only keep two. Which two are we keeping, and
Like
why?
by choice, or which one is going to win?
Well, we know who's going to win, but by choice, we know the two that'll win. But by choice, which two do you eliminate,
So
and
Apple,
why?
Samsung, Motorola, and Google. Is that it?
Yep. Which two do you eliminate, and why do you eliminate? Why do you keep the other two?
Ah, good question. I want Google to stay because I've always loved Google stuff ever since forever, before Pixel, before Nexus. Um, so I want Google to stay, but I'm not really. Anyway, I'm just saying I'm not confident in the direction that they're going, but I would like Google to stay for sure.
Yeah.
Motorola, I would have said Motorola, but now that they're Lenovo, I don't really care as much.
Yeah.
Um, so I would like to see Samsung do something. So I would say Samsung because they have the power essentially and the resources to do something
Yeah.
good, like as not like ethically good, but that would be nice. But something impressive, right? Because they can if they really wanted to.
Right.
So probably Samsung and Google. I mean, I used to cheer for Apple. I loved Apple. Remember when Apple was the underdog?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some people
So
don't
I used to
remember
love
that.
Apple.
They got clowned a whole bunch, man. They got
This is
Windows and
before iPhone,
yeah,
so
Microsoft dogged. I mean, they got clowns left and right. But some people aren't old enough to remember all those commercials, and they don't know.
the think
But
different era. But yeah, I mean, when Apple was the underdog, then that's when I loved
oh
Apple,
yeah,
right? Because they were the underdog, right? It's like, but now it's like, I don't know. I think that's been my mo with all my tech throughout my whole life. Like
yeah,
I've gone with the underdog because I didn't go iPod, I went
yeah,
Zune
yeah.
or
I love it.
Creative. Remember Creative Labs had all this stuff. So anything that wasn't iPod, I went with.
Yeah,
So the first Zune came out, I bought that because I was like, I don't want an iPod. So like I
yeah,
always go opposite of what's trending, and
yeah,
because I want innovate. Because to me, I guess deep down I wanted the innovation, right? So like I want people who are bringing out the next cool thing.
yeah.
Um, but now that Apple's kind of the establishment, I don't know. I love Apple stuff, but I would like to see the innovation go. And Samsung has the resources to do it, and Google,
Yep.
I'm just kind of biased towards Google stuff.
I think I would eliminate Motorola and I would eliminate Apple.
Yeah, see,
I
there you
would
go.
keep that.
Same.
I would keep that's the same thing you said. Yeah, that's the same thing you said, I think. Yeah, I would keep Motorola. I would get rid of Motorola and get rid of Apple. Because I just don't feel like Apple's and we're just talking, I guess I should be clear, we're talking about phones, not anything else. Just on the phone side. I would definitely
Yeah,
eliminate
same thing. I would still
Motorola
go that
and
way.
yeah, I would eliminate Motorola and Apple with the quickness. I think Apple is definitely not even trying really anymore. And Motorola is they haven't given up, but they're not flexing like they can. For those that actually know, we're talking about Motorola. Like Motorola was like Nokia. Everybody had their time. Motorola was big, and now it seems like they're just existing. Yeah, I think they're just
See,
existing. But
JoJo couldn't make the choice,
what? It's the easy.
but shout out to JoJo. She totally remembers those Apple days, of
I
course.
would keep I would keep
I'll see. And there,
Google.
see, I'm on a Mac. You can tell by the reaction that just went off. But
Yeah.
uh, see, Jimmy Fire Dragon, either Motorola or Apple, as in gone,
Gone or yeah,
eliminated.
those two will be gone for me. Their phones, I can live without their phones.
Definitely
Totally cool with
Samsung.
that.
See,
Samsung would stay and Google would
Big
stay.
House would keep Samsung and Google. See, I think
Yeah,
there you
see, I
go.
guess some of us are all along might be on the same page.
See, everyone's cool with Google. So,
Now, what you already know what my answer would be to this, but what two OEMs would you bring back?
well, yeah, I know what you're. I already know your answer, which is why you're probably asking the question. Yeah, good question. I would bring Nokia back when they're heyday, like the real Nokia. I'll totally bring
Yes.
Nokia back. I love Nokia stuff.
Oh,
The actual Nokia stuff.
yeah.
Like, so definitely
Do you
Nokia.
remember their operating system name though? I remember it.
Hmm?
Do you remember it? Their OS name. Come on, you know it. You
I
know it.
do, but my brain is so foggy
It's
these
right on the
days.
tip of your tongue. Anybody in the chat, don't Google
I
it.
can't remember
What is the
phone colors
original
today.
Nokia operating system name? It's right on your tongue, Grant.
But the other one, Nokia, I definitely would bring back Nokia. That was like a no brainer.
There he is, Bradley. He got it. You remember now, Grant, don't you?
Now I'm looking in the chat. See, people are saying
Symbian.
LG.
Symbian. That's
Someone else
it.
said Nokia. Yeah, Symbian. Yes,
That's what it is.
Symbian.
So they will bring back. Obviously, we bring back BlackBerry for sure.
Yeah, because I had that on my Nokia N5, which was that slider phone.
Yeah,
That was the first phone to actually have live stream capability. By the way, I totally
Grant
remember that.
is
That was
on
way
it.
back. That was way back before iPhone, right before iPhone. This is like
Way back.
2006. So live streaming back then, that was crazy.
Oh
From
yeah.
a phone,
It's look at some of
like
these
that
comments.
small.
Man. Look at you got HTC people will bring back. They bring back Windows
BlackBerry,
and
yeah, I was never see. Honestly, I was never big into BlackBerry. I think because by the time like I was looking at BlackBerry stuff, they got big, right? They were kind of like on the level of Palm, and I was like, nah.
I had a
Probably
BlackBerry pager.
HTC. That's true. I'll bring back HTC and Nokia. Probably, yeah. That's a good one,
HTC is good.
Lashawn.
I had a BlackBerry pager, sir. I'm full
LG
threaded.
had
Like
its time. Like everyone says LG, but I'm like LG had their time.
they did.
They did it to themselves, so I don't really feel bad for LG.
Nokia is a fan favorite, I think. The
Like
Nokia,
HTC got bought out pretty much, right? And that's
yeah,
what kind of killed them. And Nokia similarly. I mean, they just kind of just they sold their company for parts basically,
yeah.
even their branding.
So
So
since you like you clearly like Symbian operating system, I personally would
well, I just
another
like the I don't know, but the operations were okay, but I like the devices they're bringing out. They're always pretty unique.
they were good. And they
Yeah.
weren't fake. I didn't have a lot of crashes and stuff. It just didn't exist because it was simpler. It was just a straight on. You go to message, you go here. You go to email, you go here. It was just straightforward. But I think I would bring back WebOS along with BlackBerry. I would bring back WebOS. What operating system would you want to bring back? Because I see some people saying Windows Phone. I would definitely bring back.
WebOS never had enough of a run for me to really like it because when the Palm Pre came out, WebOS was still really new, and it
Yeah.
kind of sucked when it first came out, to be
Well,
honest.
WebOS is on TVs. It's still on
But the
TVs too now.
but the idea of it, yeah, they
Oh
licensed
yeah,
it out. But what it
yeah.
was supposed to be, the thought of what it was supposed to,
I
how they
like.
marketed it, that was cool. What it
I
really was terrible. But
I love the WebOS devices, man. Oh my god, it just HP dropped the ball, and then the other guy came and bought him out, and then I think he bought it out to sell it out. That's what I think he did. He came back strong with all these announcements and everything, and I think he did that just to get rid of him. He can get a big payday, so he can get him out of there. Because after that, after the three, it just disappeared. They stopped, and all those devices. Now people are trying to sell them for $1,000 online. It's a money grab.
see,
But
HTC,
HTC for
Barry's
sure.
cool with
Oh yeah,
Nokia too.
yep.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna like this.
Man, you get ready to go in timeout, bro. I'll put you in timeout with quickness.
Bradley knows what's up. N95, it definitely was a beast. That thing, I still have mine
N95 was
somewhere.
gangster,
I have
man.
mine somewhere still. It's
I
sweet
had so
device.
many of these phones, and I regret getting rid of some of them. But yeah, LaShawn definitely got to quit hating because BlackBerry set the foundation for pretty much a lot of the phones that are out right now. Like you wouldn't have an iPhone without BlackBerry. You wouldn't have video chat, iMessage. You wouldn't have any of that stuff without BlackBerry. So yeah, that's
Oh no, BlackBerry was definitely innovative for sure.
oh yeah, video
It's
chat
just
on BlackBerry was gangster. We would
by
do a
the time
whole
I could afford
screen.
a BlackBerry, it was really big and popular. So I was like, no, I don't want a BlackBerry now. But
Yeah,
it was cool. But yeah, that was back in the day when
yeah.
still
BlackBerry
probably not
set the standard.
early in
It's crazy.
career, so I didn't have a lot of money. So I
Yeah,
liked stuff, but I couldn't afford it.
yeah. That BlackBerry paved the way for iMessage, FaceTime, all of that. They started all of that, man. Like we were literally, it was conferences and video streams. It was crystal clear, just like this on a BlackBerry phone. It was great, man. And we all know that BBM is the standard. BBM was the standard. It was way before Telegram, everything. BBM set the foundation for so many things. And then when it went away, man, and the servers went offline, I used to be in the BlackBerry store buying movies. I spent so much money in the BlackBerry store, it was crazy. And we got an email saying, "Hey, this is your last time to download all your movies because the store's shutting down." I was sad, man. I was like, "Oh man," I just couldn't
How many
believe it.
BlackBerry devices did you have?
All of them, I think. I had a BlackBerry pager. I had the first BlackBerry pager. I had the first BlackBerry like phone. I bought them all, dude.
Which
I
was your
was
favorite? Did you like the Passport? What was your favorite?
Passport is definitely one of my favorites, if not the favorite. Passport
I like the
had to be like
Passport.
top dog. That thing was crazy, man, because they had
It
the
was
right aspect.
nice.
It had the
That
perfect aspect.
the Passport, that silver one, that was nice.
Oh yes. See, if I was smart, I wouldn't have took the money. I got offered. Only reason I don't have any device because I got offered so much money back then to buy. I'm like, why? Like it's sold out, dude. I'm like, you gonna pay me how much? That's like twice what it's worth. But hey, I guess. But you can get them now, but you can't use them anymore. The servers are offline. Best you can do is phone calls and text message. You can do some MMS, but you can't really. And you can do Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And because I have a BlackBerry, I bought an older BlackBerry. I did a throwback on a BlackBerry, and you can get Wi-Fi and stuff like that, and basic text messaging and things like that. But you can't get the server to actually come online. It's so crazy. Sean, you're gonna get put in the corner. You about to go on the back porch, man, like Fred Flintstone, baby. you go, you going on the back porch, man. We're gonna put you on the back
Like,
porch. There it is.
see, this thing was nice.
Beautiful. Kevin's trying. I give him credit. He's trying. He's trying to bring it. I brought Gary. As a matter of
Well,
fact, brought the
yeah.
petition to my attention, and I signed the petition right away. And if I really hope that they bring the OS, it's not just bringing back BlackBerry. It's bringing back BlackBerry OS. That's what's important to me. I don't want an Android BlackBerry phone. I think that's lame. I didn't like hardly any of the Blackberries that came out that had Android on them. If I want an Android phone, I'll just buy an Android phone. I don't think they should have integrated the two because the software just wasn't right. It was Android. It was Android with a skin of BlackBerry. I hated it. It was bad. I was so disappointed, man. I want a BlackBerry and I want BlackBerry OS because then that brings back BBM, that brings back BlackBerry Video Chat, that brings back all the BlackBerry servers. And I would even go so far as to say, I'll even take a Sidekick again because there was a lot of people in this chat probably that had a Sidekick, and man, let me tell you, Sidekicks took over. They were running things, man. At
Oh
one
yeah.
point, you
Everybody had a
couldn't
sidekick, man,
everywhere you went, it was a Sidekick,
for sure.
and they claim they took it down because oh we can't afford to keep the servers going. No, they just knew Android was coming and they decided, well, we're going to just go with what we want to go. This is where the money is going to be. And they didn't get behind their product. And same thing with Windows Phone. They threw in the towel. Like the Duo definitely should have been Windows Mobile. I think they totally messed that up. It would have been a perfect rendition of it. And then they canceled the Windows tablet that was supposed to come too. The little small Windows tablet. They canceled everything, man. And then you were seeing them in movies. I can't believe how many movies I was watching, and I would see Surface Duos in the movies, and then also I see that unreleased Surface tablet in the movies. All of that stuff, man. It's crazy. Z10 was top notch. Z10 was top notch. It was one of the biggest sellers ever. Yep, there's a petition,
So
man.
you signed this
I
thing?
signed I signed that day one. I signed it day one.
I
I
know this
signed
is
it
what
day one.
Gary shared with us, right? Gary's in the chat.
Yeah, it's legit. Kevin's behind
Bring
that, man.
back BlackBerry.
Yeah,
Crackberries
Kevin's
on this?
it's just a matter of getting the servers. You got to be able to afford the servers. They're saying you got to be able to get the servers back going. And then I don't think BlackBerry is going to just sell it to anybody. They claim. You seen the last meeting he did? He claims that they're good to go. He claims that he's got the investors. That last video he posted, he claims that he has the investors already. So I don't know.
Is it one of
Yep.
these links?
No, it's on his YouTube channel. It's on his
Oh,
YouTube channel.
okay.
He put a short up on his YouTube channel, crackberry.com. He put the short up saying, hey, we did it. He was saying something. I was like, really? You going to actually get these servers to come back online? Dude. And the reason that's going to be hard is you're going to have to convince developers, we're going to pay you a good money on this and you're going to make money. You see what I mean? Everybody's getting behind Android right now and iOS. No one wants to, we don't have enough variety, man. That's why we're struggling right now in the tech community, I think, because there's not enough variety. That clicks thing right there, garbage. I would never buy something like that. I would never buy some junk like that to extend it out to be pretend with a full. That's ugly. I mean, like
Hey, some people love that.
that's.
I think they have one for the flip, so
Yeah,
that it looks kind of square, so it looks kind of more like a
I was totally
BlackBerry.
turned
But
off. No disrespect to Kevin, but I was totally turned off by that. I was like, ill. It's like ill. This is stupid. But it's. I guess it's
would you,
doing well.
so would you want like a physical keyboard device if it was
Absolutely,
BlackBerry,
absolutely,
or
absolutely.
would you want
I want
BlackBerry to have more of a modern looking device with like a on-screen keyboard?
I would want a physical keyboard like the BlackBerry Curve or the Passport. I don't care about no Unihertz. Everybody keeps telling me about this Unihertz. I have a PR team. I've talked to. I deal with Unihertz all the time. I don't want that fake BlackBerry. It's garbage. I don't
Did they
want
offer that
Android.
to you to review? You're like, nah.
Dude, I didn't take it. I was like, no, I want a real BlackBerry. So I'll take their other phones for the other side, but the PR lady, I was like, no, I'm good. I want a BlackBerry, and I want BlackBerry OS. Mark my words, I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this. If BlackBerry OS comes back, I'm done with Apple, I'm done with Android, I'm done with them all, because BlackBerry OS is going to be better as long as the developers get behind it and support it like they did the back of the day. It's what started Android, it's what started Apple. So it just doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't it be better or good? It has to be. BlackBerry OS, for those that know it was the best of the best. It was the best of the best. You could do everything right from the phone. Like you
So
literally
that
would have.
begs the question. So that begs the question, right? What's the likelihood of one of these companies coming back, or another company really making some inroads in today's market?
Not likely, because you have. Okay, so here it is though. Okay, so the real thing is like why won't Samsung just release TouchWiz and drop Android? They can do it. You can have one UI without Android. Why won't they do it?
Sure,
Money.
Samsung tried to go that route, just kind of like what Huawei did, but because Huawei was forced to. But Samsung tried to go that route, right? They divorced themselves from Android, and
Yeah. They gave up though. They gave up. They probably looked at the money and decided we're not gonna make it. You gotta have faith in yourself.
Tizen, right?
Tizen Tizen is still on products though. Tizen is on TVs, it's on watches.
Yeah, they just morphed it into their Internet of
Yeah.
Things operating system.
I
Yeah,
don't like when companies throw in the towel like that. I know, I get it. You're gonna have to get billions of dollars. You're gonna have to see the thing is you have to pay the developers. The developers keep things alive. The only reason Apple is successful and Android is successful is because of the developers. They're developing apps. They're involved with it. Imagine if all the developers that Apple is paying said, "We're done. We're starting our own operating system. It's going to be called Loop de Loop. We're not supporting you anymore.
that's a
Everybody's going to go
great
over to Loop
operating
de
system name, by the way. You should patent that.
Loop. Everybody's going
I'm
to. The
gonna
new thing is
trademark that. I'm gonna trademark that operating system.
I need a trade right there. The new operating system is called Loop de Loop, and all of the people that are developers are going over to Loop de Loop because they're paying instead of getting 25 cents a dollar, they're getting 40 cents a dollar. Don't you think that developers would leave? I think that developers are the ones that are keeping. Well, I know the developers is what's keeping it alive. Developer, developer.
Well, with all the
Develop.
lawsuits that Apple's dealing with their Apple Store, and especially with the whole lawsuit that got settled with Epic
Yep,
Games, right? All this time where people are pushing back on Apple, right, for all
yep.
this um, Apple Store fees and pretty much taking all their money. Do you think it's a opportunity right now that the huge Epic law the decision came down, and they're constantly fighting off these lawsuits of developers and companies trying to get back what they feel is rightfully their cut. Right,
Yep.
now that decision came down, do you think it's a kind of an opening for other
I don't,
companies to say, like, okay, yeah, you know, Apple's kind of taking all your money. Why don't you come over here?
I think the one thing that we all need to remember is no one stays at the top forever. As big as I thought Nokia was, I thought they would never fall. As big as BlackBerry was, I thought they would never fall. Windows Mobile, I thought they would never go downhill. Apple and Samsung, they're at the top technically, but all jokes aside, you can't stay there forever. Like there's gonna be something new that comes along. Some people just can't believe this. Some people are just so caught up on. Now you think about it from where we're sitting. We saw the other companies at their peak. We saw when the other companies
Yeah,
didn't
well,
exist.
Apple wasn't always there, right? Apple was the up and
Exactly.
comer.
Exactly. So some people just don't want to give a chance. You know, one reason why this might sound bad when I say it out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud anyway. One reason this is going to sound so bad. It's going to sound so okay. I'm showing my
I'm
age as
count
I'm
I'm
doing
I'm counting on it. So
what. This is going to sound so bad, but I think the reason that things probably would stay the same and have no growth is because our education system is failing. And the people that are these younger people today, they're not willing to work as hard and they don't care as hard. They don't care as much. They don't try as hard. They're not willing to sacrifice anything. They just want to get rich quick. So the fact that you can jump on YouTube and turn your phone on and become a millionaire, or sit on behind a camera and do a bunch of corny, stupid stuff and become millionaires, that's our education level. The fact that the average watch time on a 20-minute video is like 2.5 minutes, that speaks volumes. You can't keep a person's attention long enough, and so they created these stupid things called shorts. Shorts are stupid. Shorts don't make the creator any financial gain. It's all for YouTube and everybody else. All the music that you're using, that's all they're all getting all the money. You can release a short and have 1 million views on it, and you'll get maybe $6. It's not. It's a scam. And so I think the reason things might be the same 40 years from now when it comes to this tech stuff is because people are willing to accept these younger generation. They're willing to accept the next number. What's coming out next? The iPhone 29. Oh, I can't wait to get it. It's going to be bad. I don't think tech is going to move forward because a lot of us so-called old heads are going to die off, and in the next 50 to 100 years, and then what's going to be left next? Everybody's just going to be streaming everything, and no
Well,
one's
I
going
mean,
to talk
that's what I'm
anybody.
saying. Do you think we're getting closer to that inflection point with Apple kind of coming down a little bit? Because there's a lot of hints, right? Because Apple's kind of losing the AI race. Not, they're saying, well, we don't always win the battle, but we win the war. So we're behind now, but that's okay. But it's still an opening for a lot of companies.
I don't think
The
Apple's
AI
winning right
piece is big, right? The Epic Games lawsuit was pretty big. You got people reportedly wanting to leave their iPhone for something new because they're bored
now.
with it. And you see
Yeah,
those signs everywhere. So is this a bit of an inflection point where Apple needs to pay attention because people, are looking elsewhere? And, there are these points in the industry where big battlegrounds that they may end up losing. And that might, all
yeah.
these things
There,
might add up to them being dethroned.
you just said it though. You said it best. Like that last lawsuit, I think was 962 million or something like that. That's going to start to
It's a
hurt.
huge, yeah.
After you do that like 10, 15 times in a year, they're bragging about being $1 trillion company,
Well,
and
and it
people,
sets precedent going forward, right? For other
yeah,
things like that.
it means you're not untouchable. You can crumble and fall. I remember when there was no Apple, and you do too. But some people today, they don't think that was always. They think it's always been like this. But I'm like, man, you got to wake up. You can't stay in this so-called best spot forever. Some little kid right now who's not born yet, he's going to come up with a development of something that's going to blow everybody's mind. He's just not here yet, he or she. But the fact that the things are the way they are now, and Apple's getting taxed the way they are, um, I don't think this, which is why we know 2 years ago Apple turned to the streaming services. They were like, that should have been an eye opener for a lot of people right there. Some people thought Apple's being magical, they're innovating stuff. No, they were losing money in all those lawsuits, and they said we're going to switch to streaming services. We're going to make people pay for these things. We're going to make them. We're going to shift their attention. We'll bring out the same phone again, and we'll shift their attention to streaming services and tell them you're getting a good deal over here by doing this. And I think it's an eye opener, like you said, that they're not untouchable. I'm amazed that so many people feel like Apple is innovating still. They're innovators, but that doesn't mean they're innovating. I like in that last video I put out. Do you think Apple's scared? I think they are afraid. Like, why not take risks? I like how everybody made fun of Samsung back in the day for the Note lineup, the Galaxy Note 1. People made jokes. That phone was only a 5.3-inch display. It was big. It was a tank. But by today's standards, it's not a tank. And look at where we are now. So I, I don't see Apple being on top for another 10 to 20 years. I think the realization is going to come in and they're going to have to buckle and get on board. They're going to have to do, let me tell you something. If Samsung brings out and Google brings, if people start to get better, I said, like, let Huawei back into the United States market. Apple's done. Let Xiaomi back into the United States market. Apple's finished because you're going to spend less money and get a whole bunch more. That's just what it is.
Well, from international competition, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. That's probably not going
Absolutely.
to happen for anytime soon. But with
It
Apple
won't.
themselves, like we were saying, right? Like, with kind of the current leadership, and like how we were saying last week with Tim Cook being there for so long, longer than Steve Jobs at this point,
Yep.
right? He has the operations background, which is all about efficiency, right? So has he kind of milked that cow dry, so to speak, right? Like, has he wrung all the profits out of whatever technology that Apple has had out there to this point, right? Because he got very efficient at producing what they do very, very well, right? So they could keep higher margins, make a lot of people a lot of money. But has that kind of been dried out at this point? And
Yeah.
because of that, they don't, if they don't have anything in pipeline technology wise, then are they
Yeah.
going to miss the next wave, right? So I think we're kind of close, it feels like, to that kind of an inflection point. So I don't know.
And when he steps down next year, when Tim steps down next year and this new person comes in, like, look at what happened with T-Mobile when John stepped down. You just don't hear that flair anymore. You don't hear. He brought them to life for what, about 10 years straight, and then he stepped away, and now he's chilling, getting all his revenue. He's if you pull up John Ledger's Twitter, you'll see it's a whole nother person. He brought them back to life, and then he stepped away. Tim Cook steps in. Tim Cook's stepping down next year. When he does that, then we'll see what's up with Apple, because people tend to follow, like Big House's comment there saying people who use iPhones don't like change. To a certain extent, I used to believe that full heartedly, but I know a lot of iPhone users, and the reality is there are more iPhone users that still have old iPhones, that they're just not switching because they're just not switching. Like, my phone isn't broken. I'm just going to keep this phone. But what you see on the internet is you see all the people trading in, but what you see are the young folks doing that. You don't see the real users. You see influencers showing you that they're switching us. I
Well, I
think
mean,
that,
how real is this, right? Because it always comes back down to this FaceTime, especially iMessage, right?
yeah,
So
iMessage.
how long is that gonna
I don't
allow
know.
Apple to keep their grip on the industry?
I don't think so, because you can use FaceTime, and you can use FaceTime on Android right now. You've been able to use FaceTime on Android for the last, what, 3 years or so like that, but people don't know it because Apple's not promoting it. You don't even need an iPhone to use FaceTime. And furthermore, if Apple keeps bringing out products like the last iPhone they just did, you don't even need an iPhone. That tablet does everything and almost more. It does than a phone can do. It's bigger, it's still compact. You can get it. You can get it with a SIM card if you want to. Get LTE services. You still get access to FaceTime and iMessage. But RCS to me is where it's at. I'm glad that the lawmakers pretty much said, "Hey, screw this. This is what you're doing. We see this monopoly you're trying to create, and it's good because there is some truth to people using. There's a lot of truth to Big House's point that people are just using FaceTime and iMessage, but I think that's kind of dwindling away because, like I said, you can use FaceTime on anything now, Android, a computer. You just need a link. That's it, and it's the same thing. If you didn't know that, you can use FaceTime on Android phones, Windows computers, wherever. It's just a link now. So
Yeah, it's just not as convenient. It's not baked
yeah,
in. It's
yeah.
not native. But yeah, you could
I
you
don't.
could
I think, to your point, I
invite
think
people
they
to
are
the
going.
FaceTime.
I think they're going like this because that's what you're saying. That's what you're asking. They are teetering off, and people are starting to wake up. Like, back to our original thing, are people switching to the Flip 7? Or they are. They're leaving their iPhones and switching to the Flip 7, which is
Well,
nuts.
you'll know Apple's in trouble when their board votes for a new CEO. So
Absolutely,
right,
absolutely. He's
so
stepping down.
that's a double-edged sword, right? Like, I don't think they want to do that because that's an indicator to the industry that they're in trouble. But at the
Yeah,
same time,
he's
if
going to
they
step
hold
down.
on too long, they don't have a
Yeah.
choice, right? So
Next year he's probably going to be out of there because there was already rumors of him doing it this year, but because, I mean, you see how old he is. He looks like he's about 75 or 80, but I think he's only like 60 something. He looks pretty rough. He looks pretty rough for his age, and let me see.
well, I
I
think
think
Apple's going to have to change from the top down if they are serious about this whole AI race and all these other things,
yeah,
because their culture and
he's only
their company
64.
messaging around privacy and all these things don't mesh with this AI wave, right? They don't go hand in
Yeah,
hand. So Apple's got to completely change how they approach their business, their marketing, their
yeah,
messaging, their culture, everything if they really want to go after this AI
yeah.
thing. So,
He's only
and that starts
64.
at the top. That starts at the top, so
You're right. He looks rough. He's only
that's
64. I just googled it over there.
that's
He looks
partly
pretty
why
rough.
they're losing their AI talent. It's not just because of the money, right? It's because I suspect that a lot of these people are probably really smart and they're being poached for a reason and they're leaving and taking the money. Yes, partly for the money, but Apple's got money. So I don't think it's
Yeah,
just money. It's because they're so smart that I think they don't see a future for what they're trying to build at Apple. I think they think
but all
Apple
those
is.
lawsuits, like you just said, all those
I think
lawsuits.
they probably feel they're too shackled down at Apple to build what they want to really build, right? And so other companies are offering them yes more money, but the opportunity to go build what you want to build, how you want to build it, right? And I think at Apple, there's too many guardrails for that stuff, and I don't
And
think really smart people like that.
and like I just said, the young person that's not born yet, he's going to come along, or she's going to come along. They're going to say, "I'm not doing this. We're doing this my way." and then they're gonna have to. You can only have so many of us old heads at the top for so long. Young people are gonna come. A younger person knows what young people want. I can't. I don't know what the latest song is right now to 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 30. I have no idea. If you ask me what an artist is, I probably don't know what it is, and so that's why you have to have certain age group. You got to have a diverse group of people to keep it interesting. And right now, Apple, to be clear, listen, if those phones are legit phones that's coming out, the only sales they'll probably get is from people doing trade-ins because they have that trade-in program. Those are some of the ugliest phones I have ever seen. They are hideous.
The Pro lineup.
The new lineup is
Yeah,
ugly
the
as
Pro
I don't know
models
what.
with that camera module and
It's hideous. It
the
is
burnt orange UTE
hideous.
colors. And
Hideous.
the air, I
We
will say the air looks okay though. The air looks okay,
the air looks.
and
That's the best
and
thing in line.
the standard 17 looks like they're keeping it like the 16, so that
Yes,
looks
yes, those
fine.
two look good. The Pro line is hideous. The Pro line is hideous.
But it might look better in person, like it always does, right?
No, absolutely not. No, this is why I still have an iPhone 13 Pro Max because it's just going to be great. I'm ready to see these younger folks come along that are. Congrats to all the women that are birthing these new geniuses. Thank you in advance, even if I never meet you, because it's got to be somebody to come along and say, "Hey, look here, Tim, you're 95. You got to get out of here," or whatever it may be. I just don't see this current iPhone lineup selling very well. It's hideous, man. It's ugly, just based on they look terrible, man. If
Yeah.
the leaks are real, I think those phones will not sell based on the looks alone. I don't think they'll sell. I don't think they can do it. They're hideous. Apple's current revenue is $94 billion. Their net is 23 billion. Yeah. Yep. That
Oh,
battery
just
only.
there were
Go
some
ahead.
quarterly earnings that came out. I forgot whose earnings it was. See, again, my brain is foggy today, but I remember someone's quarterly earnings was something ridiculous, like 60 billion in like a quarter. That's some people's annual, if you're lucky. I
Yeah,
forgot who that was, but I remember I heard that somewhere. I'll look it up.
that's
But
a lot.
I heard something like that. I was like, man, there's companies who dream of being a $60 billion company, period, much less making that in like 3 months. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a huge quarterly at 60
but that's the kind
billion.
of money that there is out there now. It's pretty insane, man. Like,
Ad revenue is incredible. Ad revenue is amazing. Yeah.
oh, it was Alphabet. It was Alphabet.
It was Google.
I don't know if this. I don't know Alphabet, the conglomerate Alphabet that
Yeah.
houses everything, Google,
Yeah.
everything. So Alphabet's earnings. I don't know if 60 billion was a number, but it was some absurd number last quarter. So in 3 months, they made some. I forgot what it was. I can probably look it up. But Alphabet's earnings was insane. So like, if you think Alphabet as a whole conglomerate is not
Yeah.
doing as well, think again. Like they're
It's
flush with
phenomenal.
cash, and it is ridiculous amounts of money. I couldn't
Everybody
believe the
needs them.
number.
Everybody
I couldn't
needs
believe
them.
the number. That was someone's annual if they're lucky. It was they did it in 3 months. I was like, holy.
Everybody needs them. They're all
But people don't
intertwined.
think people think of Alphabet as Google, and they don't think Google's doing as well, right?
Oh
But
no,
I mean,
no.
clearly they're still flush with, and I think a lot of that, like to your point, was because huge YouTube numbers from ads.
Yeah, absolutely. The ad revenue is
That
ridiculous.
was a big component to it. So
Yeah, there are people are willing to pay Google to yeah. The ad revenue is ridiculous. As of 2025, a year ago, Apple's capital market cap was 3.1 trillion. But
that's why
people
they can
see that.
afford to do all these wild things and just fail and or not care, trash it, whatever, because they're just
Yeah,
burning money.
yeah. But some people hear that number and think, "Oh my God, Apple can never run out of money." Okay, all right, yeah. They keep getting these $1 billion lawsuits. Yeah, they had three. They had three. They lost two recently, right? I know they lost that one for 960 million. That was a big one or whatever it was. It was higher than that. It was lower than that. And then they came back. I think they raised it to that $900 million mark. But that hurts. That hurts. It's gonna hurt too. So, but I don't particularly. I'm watching the stock market right here, the trades, but it closes. I was close. This is the closing numbers. I don't particularly. They closed at $229, by the way, and 35 cents. But I don't particularly. think that Apple can sustain. Back to your point, I don't think they can sustain any kind of uphill climb because I think they're stale at this point. Like to me, it speaks volumes if I'm saying an Apple iPhone is ugly because I've never really said the iPhones were ugly, but from where I sit, those are some hideous phones, and I never really judge a phone by the way it looks all the time. But just based on when those Pro models look, total turn off. It's horrible, and it just goes to show like they're running out of ideas to me. Like you compare, because imagine how this is going to be when the phones actually get in everyone's hands and those actually are the new iPhones. What are these so-called journalists? Are they going to call them out or no? Because everybody every year says, "Oh, this is a good-looking phone. Oh, this is great. It's the same design, but Apple needs to do something different." So Apple said, "Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch this whole bar out and leave this blank space right here. We're going to name it wasted space."
Well, that's
Uh,
why I call this Apple's fealty test, right? They're gonna say, okay, we're coming out with the ugliest thing. We're gonna see who's loyal, man. We're gonna
God,
see.
man, that is the horrible. I can't wait to see if it in fact is it. I can't wait to see what journalists have to, these so-called journalists have to say, and all these enthusiasts who get sent the phones all the time. Yeah, that's an ugly phone. And I'm not going to get it because I'm not going to have anything good to say about it. I don't care if the cameras are phenomenal. I don't care if the cameras are 400 megapixels. They will not get my money for that thing. It's hideous. It's horrible. It's ugly. I don't even want nobody to see me holding it up this way and then looking at the back of my
Well,
phone. It's horrible.
you're already on
Mm-mm.
record saying you're getting the Air anyway, right?
Oh,
So
the Air, yeah, definitely the Air. And I'll probably grab like a regular 17 too, like a small 17 if because the Air is going to be a little bit big. The Air replaces the Plus model apparently, so I got to have a small
I
phone.
think the
So
Air is gonna have one camera, just like the 16e, right?
yeah, that's going to be questionable right there. That camera better be a 600 megapixel camera because yeah, the phone's going to cost $1,000. So
Because you're not even at least getting an ultra wide with that. So
yeah, it's going to have a wide lens, but it's not. You don't get an ultra wide. So it's going to have a digital zoom and it's going to have a wide lens. It better have a 600 megapixel camera.
and
It
it's
better have
thin, but they could totally fit one, right? I mean, like,
definitely. Yeah,
if
definitely.
Samsung could fit one their Edge, they could fit
Yeah,
one.
yeah. This Edge is incredible, man.
They're just trying to make it a big differentiator, I guess, just like how the 16e, right? They can't make it too good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the 16e is one of my daily drivers since it came out, and it's phenomenal. I use it literally. I decided to just keep one of my phone numbers on this phone and just use it. It's pocketable. I got a 512 gig. It turned out to be good, man, for what I'm using an iPhone for. All my bigger iPhones are just sitting around over there. So I charge them up, power them up, then turn them off. I'm not really so much an iPhone person, but that particular phone number is very important. So businesses and transactions that I'm doing, I send it to that phone. It has great battery life, and most of them use an iPhone. And so anything dealing with the church and stuff like that, they're on iPhones. And so I'm like, ah, so I keep them over there. All business transactions go through that phone over there. And that's the only reason it's in my pocket. And then also for my Apple Music. Other than that, I mean, I'm not really an iPhone person at all, man. I
See,
like
that's the
that.
regular, that's the
I like
base
that.
17. It's going to look the
I
same.
like that. Yeah.
There's a thin Air,
Yeah, I like that.
different
That color,
colors.
go back to
There's the
that one
Air.
color they just showed. That green, ew, ew, ugh. That looks like it's neon glowing. Oh
They're
man,
trying
that's
to make it
horrible.
like the Pixel Lemon kind of, but
Yeah,
it's more green.
that lemongrass. Ugh, that's horrible. But the
This is
Air for
more
sure,
green.
I'm definitely on record saying I'm gonna have that Air day one. I'm ordering that Air
There's
as
that
soon as I
Air.
can. I'm because it's I want to compare it next to the Edge. I want to see what it's gonna be like. So yeah,
I mean, it's pretty much
I'm all
making like how the Edge look made the S25 Ultra look. That's kind of the same
absolutely,
here.
absolutely. I'm
Except
all
this
for
looks
it.
thinner. I mean, look how thin this looks thinner.
It's a little bit thinner. The Edge is 5.8 and the Air is supposed to be 5.5. So, hey, we won't be able to tell
And the
too
Edge
much.
in hand feels different from when you look at it too. So,
Yeah, the Edge
but
feels
look at this. I mean, look at this photo. Jeez.
I know. That's crazy. And there's the bodies on there. Yeah. I'm all for it,
Yeah.
man. I'm all for it. I would rather actually take that module. That's not real. But I would have taken that
It doesn't
module over
have
there.
the other weird.
Yeah, because it's
This is
at
the
least
straight across, more like this is more like the Pixel kind of look.
yeah. Yeah.
Versus this.
That
There you go.
oh god, bro. Ugh.
You
Ooh,
sure you don't like this?
that's freaking that's
This is
horrible,
kind of
man.
like the Xiaomi.
No, man.
The
That's
was it the 13 Ultra where they had like this kind of
oh yeah.
square, but they had a display, so that kind of made
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's horrible. I hope this is a prank. But see, the reason I know it's not because I already got all the case manufacturing said, "Hey, here's the." I'm like, oh God, so bad.
Well, it could still be early. Like how some of the case manufacturers messed up the S Pen because Samsung
Oh
probably
yeah,
pulled that last minute on them.
yeah.
That shows how
They just
late Samsung made that decision because they're already making cases with the S Pen.
yep, and they had to redo all of them. They had to do them
So
all
it
over
seemed
again.
like that was a late decision by Samsung because if all the specs were out, all the accessory makers were making stuff expecting an S
Yep,
Pen. That shows how late
absolutely.
that was.
I don't know. I really hope that Apple, um, yeah, that's just ugly. There's no getting around it. That's an ugly phone. And I typically don't really care about what a phone looks like too much, but that thing just looks stupid. Um, it just looks dumb. Like, so stupid. It's Sean has problems. Um, that
But
is an
I
ugly
think,
phone.
what are they saying? Like this one, OnePlus 15. OnePlus 15.
OnePlus
Since we're looking
15.
at phone designs,
Wait, we don't have a 14 yet, do we?
OnePlus 15.
Wow.
They're gonna skip 14 because it's a bad luck number.
Oh my
But
gosh, I
see,
have no idea.
but it looks like the
Pixel.
13S or the 13T, whatever it is. You know that
See,
small OnePlus that never came here.
I really want that T. I can get that T
This,
right now,
so it's kind
but
of like the same design.
yeah,
But
this is bigger.
I don't know.
7,000
But
milliamp
yeah,
hour
but it's
battery.
got that same kind of module.
Yeah, big battery
Yeah.
like that.
So
Wow.
seven
I'm not.
thousand.
I'm
I
not too
mean,
much of a fan of that right there, but it does look better than most. Yeah, I'm not that big of a
yeah,
fan of that, but it's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. It's better than that crap that man. I tell you, that reminds me of the Pixel. So that's kind of okay. The Pixel Fold or whatever. That's okay. It's not
Would have
too
been
bad.
nicer if that smaller OnePlus came though. That 13T or S,
I
whatever.
wanted that T, man. I would have jumped on that on day one, but I can still get it, and it's on sale now for under 500. They're on sale everywhere pretty much, but I just don't think I would use it because now the Pixel is here, the Pixel's coming, and I'm going to be focused on that. I'll be using the Pixel, whatever Pixel I get for going forward for review and stuff like that. I'm still going to have like the other phones, but I try to just use one phone at a time, even though I have multiple phone numbers. I try to focus on one, which is why I need a SIM card for my main SIM. But I'm hopeful that that's a prank by Apple that they have that we've just got one more thing, boy. If it's one more thing and the camera module is different, I'm gonna be excited because that is one ugly phone, and I don't take it back. I'll have the Air. I'll probably have a 17. I will not have the Pro models because those things are hideous, man.
Well, you'll find out in just about exactly 1 month because they're
Yeah,
saying the event is rumored. Well, not even rumor. They're saying it's supposed to be on September 9th right now. It's
yeah,
the official
yeah.
date for the Apple event.
Release
So it's
date
exactly a month. So 4 weeks
50.
from now, you'll find out what's true,
Yeah.
what's not.
First, we have to get past Google. We got to get past Google.
20th, that's pretty soon. And they're saying the phones will be ready for a week later. So
That I'd like to see. I don't believe
they're
them yet.
saying pretty much a week later, they'll be shipping.
Yeah, but you know what they'll do? They'll make 10,000 of them and then say, "Oh, we sold it. Man, the demand was so high, we sold out of all of our inventory." When you only made 10,000 of them, I hate
Well,
when they do that.
that's kind of like nothing.
Yep,
Like nothing tried to go through Amazon. And when they launched, it was like, no
not
bueno,
happy. That
no
was a bad
inventory
idea.
here. But to their credit, they were shipping from direct from them. But
Yeah,
would have been a
that
big
was
win if they could have if they could have got the Amazon US thing going. Like if that
yeah,
really was available day one and it was shipping and it was smooth, and that's a big sales channel, to get through the US versus
yep,
trying to go direct from their website. That's fine for all the nerds like us, but for regular people, if you could get it through Amazon, that's a big deal. I wanted the Nothing Phone 3, by the way. I thought
I
it's cool.
remember.
I like what Nothing's
Yes, you
doing. I
were.
think it's different. I like different things, like I was saying. And I want options here, right? So there's an option, so to speak. I mean, they're not really a US phone. I mean, they're just selling it
Yeah,
here. It's still designed for non-US use,
I can't use it on
actually. But
on Verizon, so yeah,
and our friend Drew Lips, right? He was saying he got the Nothing Phone 3 and he's saying he couldn't get Verizon on it, no matter what
yeah,
he did.
yeah.
MVNO, direct from Verizon, nothing. They shut him out. So
That would be a no go for me.
I've never
Yeah, I
actually had
want.
that happen. Have you had that happen where AT&T or Verizon would just block out your phone?
No. Uh, Not ever. I haven't
That's
had
never
that.
happened to me. Yeah,
Yeah, that's never happened. So when I saw that,
that's
I was like,
wild.
"Well, you can only call them and give them the IMEI and say, 'Hey, look, I bought this myself. I paid full price for it.'" They like to hear that terminology. "I paid full price, was I bought it outright, and I just wanna use it on your network." They like to hear that for some reason because 'cause I've done it before, and they're like, "Oh, okay, what's the IMEI?" And then they program it into my account, and then that's it,
Yep,
and it works. I've never seen them say, "Nope, nope,
yep.
not gonna let
But I
you.
never had that happen.
Buy an iPhone." No, I've never had that happen.
Well, they're
Mm-mm.
saying Nothing is one of the fastest growing brands.
Well, I guess, man. I guess. I
What
don't
was
know.
it? I mean, okay, they gave a percentage. They're saying it's up 177% year over year from Q2 last year to Q2 this year. But that's a percentage, right? Like the
Well, they only sold
so
15 phones. I mean,
that's 177% up from for them, which is probably really small to begin with,
yeah,
right? So
they might have sold
that's
85.
that's a way to make a stat look good in your favor.
Yeah, make yourself
I mean,
look
I'm
great.
sure it's still really good. And it's still good for them,
Yeah,
probably the actual number, but
yeah.
the actual number is probably a drop in the bucket
85
against
phones.
against the competition.
And 40 of them was to the influencers that they sent them out to. When I was let me tell you something, I gotta tell you a true story. When I was at the
But it's
I'm
good
not
that
gonna
more
say
people are buying it, I guess. Yeah.
or, when I was at the Samsung event, there were so many people saying, "Oh, I gotta get this OnePlus content out." I was like, "Dang," OnePlus sent out so many OnePlus hates me for some reason. I don't know what it is. They sent out so many things to everybody that was at the Samsung event. I think they was trying to kind of like steal because their release time was during that same Samsung time. And all these people were running. I gotta get back to the hotel. I have to put out this OnePlus stuff. I'm like, wow, I guess, man. OnePlus is they're trying hard. And I was like, why can't you just release? I gotta edit. I was like, man, you crazy. If I'm at an
I
event,
guess,
I'm focusing on this event. I'm not worried about another company.
yeah. I don't have that problem, so I don't worry about that.
Crazy.
I get nothing from no one unless I buy it. So,
Oh man, right. OnePlus hates
which
me, man.
honestly, I kind of like that to be honest. Like, I don't know. Like,
They
I just
can't
need more money.
keep
I
growing.
need more money coming in to justify buying things. But
Yeah,
I would personally rather buy things on my own than
yeah,
get things from companies. Just I don't know. I think
yeah.
people, no matter what, even if you disclose that, hey, they sent me this and this is my honest opinion, people will
Still ain't
always
got no
people perceive a conflict of interest no matter what.
I'm a
So
shill according to everyone. Like, I've never bought anything in my life. I don't buy
so that's why if you're
Samsung.
just buying everything, it's like, look, no matter where this money came from, it's still my money and I'm paying
Yeah.
for it. So like I can say whatever the hell I want, and that's really what
Does
I'm.
it really matter
It's
though?
like
The
zero
I think
conflict of interest.
the reason it matters if you got a phone, because during my Samsung time, like during this fold era right here, I got called a
That was
shill.
cool.
And I got called like when I started putting out all this content on the Fold 7 and I got called a paid off sellout so many now you can't see these comments because they go into I have them filtered. They filter out and if it's a curse word or something in there or some saying a bad word, it goes away. But I can still see the comments. I got called so many names because I was a sellout, I was a shield for Samsung. I was thinking, do these people I know they're passerbys because I do this every
Yeah,
year.
they're just lumping you in with everybody else.
Yeah, because and also they're just probably a little envious because they don't have the device and they want it. And that's not just regular people. There's some so-called influencers in there too. This I see them. I'm like, wow, you just gonna hate like that in the open? You mad because you
I
didn't get a
guess
chance
for
to go?
all the big brands, it's going to be like that with
Yeah,
Samsung. How broad they give things out to people, and people
yeah,
lump everyone in together with how they do things, and even with
yeah,
Google and all that stuff. And yeah,
yeah.
it's just more drama than I need to be a part of. So,
I just those are their emotions,
look,
man. I
man,
think if you're a
I just
grown
rather have
man,
the phone, and I'm just going to use it, and that's it.
I just think the sad part is that these are supposed to be grown-ups, or they're at least 18 years old, I would think, and they waste time typing out insults. I think that speaks volumes about your character and just you as a human being. You really don't like yourself if you sit in front of a computer and
Oh,
type out "you stupid son of a." That's not what that phone is for. Like, dang, you ever do a review on something and you make a mistake in the review? You just misquote something or something. It
oh, people are
happens.
just waiting for your mistake, man, so
Oh
they
my
can point
god,
it out.
yes.
Oh,
Those
I
are the
got
ones
you. It's that
I love.
gotcha comment. The
Told you, I know
gotcha
what you was
comment.
talking about. Like, god damn, I made one mistake. So what?
Even
I
when you
get
understand what the person's saying, like I get what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Yeah.
Anybody, if you're just gonna talk for a while, you're gonna, especially if you're not reading from a script,
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
don't
say
use
something a little bit off. But if you're listening to the person, you totally understand what they're saying, so it's not even a big deal. Like,
in that last video I did, I made a mistake and said, "Oh, you can click on this from the out screen." I said, "Oh," in that right a few minutes later, I was like, "Oh, no, no, you can't. My bad. I'm sorry about that."
well, like to me, you
Still,
can
you
tell when someone really doesn't know what they're talking about versus when someone just made a mistake.
right.
Like if you're really listening to somebody, you can tell. And so, like,
Yeah.
it's not a.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't understand the gotcha culture. Like, I'm
I
just
don't
waiting
have
for you
a
to slip up.
script, but I do have a sheet that I might have off camera. Like, okay, talk about this next. Cameras next. Hardware
Yeah, you
next.
need
I think
bullet
everyone should
points to
have at
keep you
least
on
that.
track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone should have at least that. But the gotcha culture is definitely a real deal because I've been in so many videos and sometimes you can see it in your own comments. You'll see people saying, "Well, dude, this keep watching because I've been watching him for a long time. He fixes it here," or they'll put the timestamp if where you were trying to
Oh yeah.
correct him. Click here, and you can see that he corrected itself. But it's a strange thing on YouTube, man. And but I think you said it last time. You said it best. Like it's I think you said something along the lines of last week about them looking at you at all. As long as they're watching you, and they're getting some kind of attention or something in there, it's it's um it's attention. It goes the same. It's the same thing for creators and influencers as with companies. Bad press is press, and so if you're on someone's channel and they made a couple of mistakes or that gotcha, you know what you're talking about. They'll share your video. They'll share your video out and say, "Look at this fool right here," and they're just bringing watch time for.
That's just the internet. That's why it's hilarious, the video that you put out about I'm switching.
Oh, man, you know what's so stupid
You
about
took
that?
advantage of the internet culture in your favor.
You know, I'm not gonna. Okay,
That was
I try to.
hilarious though. But
Wasn't
that's you
hilarious,
taking advantage of internet culture. You see? That
and
was
you know
smart.
what? I thanked you guys privately because you already know how that came about. But I think that it's sad that a video like that.
Well, we're still talking about it, and by the time we said do it, it was like already up on online. It's
Yeah,
like that was
yeah,
quick,
I'm
man.
gonna do it. I think I'll do it.
It's like you
Yeah,
were recording it as we're talking about it.
some people still didn't understand. They were like, "You'll be back." I'm like, "Did you even watch this video?" It's comments on there right now
That's how you
saying,
test people who's gonna just look at the title and
"Dude,
comment.
can we have some fun? Can you pull up the comment section out? You don't have to play it. Can you pull up the comment section?
Yeah, I'll pull it. But
Can you
like you said, there's times when you go live with your video and it's only been live for 2 minutes and your video's like 20 minutes and they're, already
yeah,
commenting about stuff that's never
great
happened yet.
video," or they were like, "Great video," or "Yeah, I can't believe you saying it." You're like, the video's been up for 3 seconds and you're already saying something based on the title. The comments in that video are hilarious, man. The comments, some of the people are really lost. Like they're literally lost. And I don't like it's so bad because I don't like this video because this video is getting attention and I didn't want it to get this kind of attention per se. And I didn't think it would. It was a joke to me. It was a freaking joke. I'm mocking the people who make all these crazy videos about, yeah, switching to iPhone. Like, are y'all serious? Some of these comments came in, man, and man, what is that? I'm going to switch. There's a lot of comments under that one right there. Oh, that might be somebody laughing. But some of these comments are just ridiculous, man. People actually believe, and I'm saying Android to Android. I'm intentionally doing this, and like some people that I lost the brain cells. I just laughed at everything in here. I didn't get offended by anything anybody was saying because I was thinking this is a pointless video that I just put up to make fun of a situation, and it's getting all these views that I didn't think it would get, and I
See, at least
wasn't.
a lot of people get it though. There's a lot of people who do
Yeah,
get
oh,
it.
there's a ton
It's
of
pretty
people
funny.
that finally caught on. Some people typed more than one comment and said, "Oh, you got me at first," but then I went
Yeah,
back
like
and I
this
realized
one. I was like,
what is
I was like, WTF? But after a second, I heard
it?
it.
Oh my god. It's just nuts, man. Like some of the comments that were original, I had to remove some comments. They got filtered out because there was like a bunch of curse words in it, and I was like, "Are these people serious?" I really was thinking, "Are these people serious? Like, are they crazy? They're nuts." Some of these people, it went straight over their head, and if they didn't have curse words in them, it wouldn't filter out, and they
Yeah,
could
I
be
like the
normal.
legitimately people, the people who are legitimately mad at you. It's hilarious.
It's
Like,
weird, right?
you need to go back and watch the video again.
I gotta say, wait until they see what's coming up tomorrow. That's about all. I already
That's why I
have
said
part.
it had to be made once you did this one.
I have part two ready to go, man. I
The
have part
next one
two
had
ready
to be
to go.
made.
and there's going to be people. I should premiere that tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. I think I'll do it like at 7 p.m. or something tomorrow. I think so. When did I premiere? I think I premiered this one on Sunday. But I'll be out of town on Sunday, so maybe I'll do the. Maybe I'll do. Yeah, there's a car show Sunday morning, church Saturday morning. I can probably do that Saturday evening. It's funny. It's ridiculous. It's just gonna be more people upset. I think it's hilarious, man. Some people were believing me right away. I was like, what in the world? Great idea, though, guys. It was very lucrative. This was a stupid video. It was a great idea. I'm going to capitalize on it some more.
Hey, trigger videos are the best, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can take advantage of, internet culture and how people want to,
Yep.
how people
Absolutely.
want to move online. If they want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
triggered, then let's use it to your
Some people
advantage.
actually they lost brain cells. I was thinking you didn't have any brain cells if you watched this video and actually took me serious.
I mean, it's a
Even my,
double benefit. You can have fun with it, right?
yeah,
And
I actually had a
make it
good time.
worthwhile. So
I had a good. I've got another version already created. It's ready to release. It was such a fun time. I said, I guess I'll just do like a few days, about 5 days, 4 days later. I think I did another one, and I said, this is gonna be great on why I'm leaving Android. It's good. It's gonna be hilarious, man. People are gonna be like, I knew it. I knew it. They're not gonna. They just look at the title.
yeah,
Oh man, I gotta get some dinner. It's after 6. Got bedtime at like 2 hours, 3 hours. Oh,
yeah.
what time
Well,
is it
we've
where you?
been
It's like 2 o'clock where you are right? No, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock here, six
Yeah,
o'clock for you.
it's 6 o'clock here.
Yeah,
I'm
2 hours,
tired.
man, flies by just like that.
I know, right? Man, we got to do this every Friday. I would love to do this every Friday because I don't have anything booked. I was streaming on Sundays. I've been streaming lately on Sundays a few times if I was free. But there's car shows this Sunday, and then I'll be out of town. There's car shows early in the morning. All the car shows are before 10 o'clock. They're like 6 to 10. That's when these shows are. Oh, God, man. They're early. And there's two of them Sunday morning, and then I'm going out of town Sunday. So, yeah, Sunday I'll be pretty busy. But Saturday, I think I'll premiere that next version of the video. Hopefully
That's why
it.
you better put a "I'm away" on your channel thing.
Oh,
Otherwise,
man, God, you're crazy.
just put up a notice. I'm away.
Oh, man. What is
You don't
everybody
have
going
to
to do
say
when
for
I'm
how
gone?
long, but just say I might just
I'll
be
be in,
gone for a
man,
little while. It's okay.
I'll be in the Bahamas. I'll be in Dominican Republic. I'm going to be a lot of places coming up here pretty soon. And
Or
they're stacked up.
just tell people behind the scenes so they don't blow up your phone.
Man, I'll in the group. I'll probably say, "Hey, look where I'm at." But I don't tell the internet where I am. It's no point. Yeah, it's people trying to come find me. Hey, are you here? But Bradley, man, I'm gonna be close to you coming up pretty soon. So I'll be sure to tell you my location so we can hang out and get some food, and I can break away for a little. Hopefully, I can break away.
Right
Hopefully, I can
on.
break.
Well, this is fun. Like, yeah, I've got Friday afternoons open, so I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
let's have
great.
some fun. It's good, especially at the end of the week. It's perfect.
Oh
Like
yeah,
end of the week, right? It's like free time, just chill, relax, kick back. It's fun.
it is
Takes my
great.
mind, takes your mind off other stuff. So it's good. This has
Oh
been
yeah,
fun. Appreciate you coming on.
oh
It's been a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Every
And
time
yeah, if whenever you're free, we can keep doing it. So,
for sure. This is great,
and I
man. But
appreciate everybody in the chat and the 14 people who actually hung around this long, 2+ hours. I mean, it goes by fast for me, but I
it
mean,
does. Yeah,
I can't
it doesn't seem like two
believe it'd be
hours.
the same in the chat, but appreciate everyone for being here especially those who are here from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Always fun chatting it up. Always love seeing people's comments and reactions. So we'll try to make this a regular Friday thing. We'll see. But at least from my end, I got Fridays
Oh
free.
yeah.
So I'll keep doing this. LaShawn's still in the chat. He's going live in less than 2 hours. So I'm pretty sure
Yes.
everyone in this chat always
It's
either
gonna be over
tunes in
there.
or is on that panel. So,
Yeah.
we'll see you over there on LaShawn's channel.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you joining, Jay. Always a pleasure. Always fun talking tech with you, man.
Yes, sir.
And everyone else, we'll probably see you next week. So
Yes.
thanks for hanging out.